Can you hear his music, by the way?
No.
Cool.
Welcome everybody to the Cloud Ninja podcast. We're doing a community discussion today with our boy Ood. It's me and Mello on the stage. If you want to join the stage, hit that link that I left in the pinned comments on the channel. But yeah, what's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Oh man. So you want us to go over the news first, Mello? Shit that we was talking we linked.
It's up to you. I don't care.
Yeah.
We can do the tier list or do the news. It's up to Udi as well.
Breaking news. I'm here for it. It would be like a live reaction to news. It's 2 in 1.
Bet. All right,
I don't
cool.
think it's. I'm not sure if it's possible to break news at 10:40 p.m. But
Yeah, facts. I mean, shit happens. Oh, Mello, I don't have none of the links that we sent.
I got you.
All right, man.
Did I send that to your Oticon?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you did. That's why I was just looking like, oh crap.
I got you real quick. Yeah, you can cover them as I send them. We got 3 of them, right?
Well, chat, how you doing tonight?
Are you streaming, Udi?
Nah. I mean, I could, but
Yeah,
Might as well get some content.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's up to you,
fair
though.
enough. All right.
No sense in you get paid for your services, man.
You guys
At least
are monetized now,
at least
right?
get you closer to it.
I think we're like this will probably push us over the edge if I do it right. We are currently 3 subscribers away from monetization. So if you guys want to subscribe to the Walkie Talkie podcast, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So I don't have to do no searching. Just send me the link and I'll drop that for you. Sorry, I'm being lazy. Anyways, let's get into some of this news we got here. So I'm gonna go into the first one that you got. You sent me here about the G Gundam project. Its new serialized scenario starting story on July 5th. Me and Mello was talking about how excited we was about this. I haven't really been watching G Gundam since I was a kid, or any Gundam, really. But the article says Sunrise Bandai.
Sorry,
Whoa.
Sorry, real quick. Is it?
What the hell?
Is it just me or is it free game cutting in and out?
Paying attention enough to.
Yeah, I think I
probably
was.
fine.
I think I
Okay.
was. I think I was. Is it better now? Or am I still cutting
No,
out?
you just cut out.
I'm still cutting
You're
out.
still cutting out. It's pretty bad.
Damn. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'll do the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
If possible.
Yeah, let me fix my microphone.
You just maybe mute. Yeah, just mute for real quick. All right, so we got and let me know if you guys can hear me. At least in the to like OG tsunami.
What the hell?
So the series
point. Story set before the finals.
The final match of the 13th Gundam fight, the tournament, renowned, I'm sorry, recounted in the G Gun anime. Okay, so this is taking place before the 13th fight in that tournament, which is good because I think they're going to have the older characters like Domon Kashu and Master Asia and stuff kind of reprise the role given the promotional art for this. When 5 mysterious Gundams make an appearance calling themselves the Dark Shuffle G Gundam anime, director, that guy's name is pending the story. So it looks like we're having like the OG people come back and kind of reprise their roles. One of the best voice actors ever, in my opinion, is the guy who does the American dub voice for Domon Kashu, the main character for G Gundam. He's just so excellent. He's the guy, this hand of mine is burning red, that type shit. So he was one of the people who like kind of really inspired me to even want to be a voice actor to begin with. Which I do have plans in the works for that. It should be pretty fun. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. This is just one of my personal favorite series, and I'm looking forward to it coming back, at least in some capacity. And I kind of just want to see how that bears itself out. I know a lot of our fans are probably not watching G Gundam at all, but I would definitely give it a try, at least the updated version. The older one is a little nostalgic, a little retro, a little dated, but I can kind of understand how you wouldn't want to get into it. But it's definitely a fun ass, corny ass, great ride. So you'll have fun with it nevertheless if you give it a chance, I think. Udi, have you ever actually watched G Gundam? Ever?
Well, okay, well, there's two ways of answering it. Because have I ever watched it? Yes. I watched one episode once, and I don't know which series it was. It was pretty good though.
So you might not have watched G Gundam, but you might have watched some kind of Gundam, some form of it.
Is robots fighting, and I think it was space. It was pretty cool.
See, like Gundam Wing or something.
From what I understand, Gundam is like the Fate series, to where there's a lot of different series, and they may or may not be connected, and some of them might be prequels, some of them might be sequels, and they all have different main characters.
Yes. Or like, kind of, yeah.
More like philosophical anime, but if it has politics, it's not an instant no.
Give me an example of a philosophical anime.
Okay. There's this one that had it had these these presidents, and they were just like talking about like life in the universe. I'm gonna have to find the name of it. They had the topic of it was, I'll say this in the most friendly ways possible, people that would unalive themselves. And that was like the whole thing, is that there was this girl who could just like convince people to do that. And that was like her superpower, like mysteriousness, weird thing going on, shenanigans. I don't know the name of it though.
Okay. I mean, would you consider like Naruto to be like a political or like a philosophical anime?
I would say yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear me? I would say yeah. What the hell?
Are we live? Bueller?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Bueller?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Udi just like went to the shadow realm. Bro. He was talking about seppuku. Bro was talking about seppuku, and next thing I know, he's gone. But I'm like, hey, yo, you good, bro? What happened?
He fell into the abyss.
That bro is in the back rooms right now, bro. That's crazy.
Oh man! But I would say that Naruto is like really political, because you have villages going against each other. Like, you have the Kage summits and stuff like that, where villages come together and they talk their differences, try to create peace or war, or however they go about it. And then you had the Great Ninja Wars and stuff like that, and it was all off political ideas and differences and stuff like that. So I definitely would say that Naruto is definitely like centered around like political differences and shit like that, and philosophy. I think it was really based off that, honestly. I wish they would go back to that kind of too, but I guess I think they're trying to like expand, to more space type things, and leave the villages out of it. I don't know what direction they're going in.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry, Udi.
Oh, I'm just saying I'm back. No, my Wi-Fi cut up, but I'm good.
Oh, your Wi-Fi
Welcome
cut
back.
out. Oh, that's
Welcome back.
crazy. That's detrimental in
They
these
came
days.
for our boy. I was like, oh shit, somebody sent some help.
I think I found the name. Yeah, the name of the anime I was talking about is called Babylon.
Babylon. I never heard of that.
Is it
pretty
old?
good. They ranked it. Yeah, no, well, it's probably early mid 2000s, maybe 2000. I don't know.
Well, that's like 20 years ago, so that's definitely old.
Yeah, dang, that's 20 years ago. That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, on my list, I ranked it 91. But it wasn't bad.
Bro, yo,
91,
free game.
goddamn.
They gave me a list. They gave me a list of like dope ass anime. I haven't watched too many of them yet, but if you ever need some like really dope stuff, just like hit up like the Walkie Walkie podcast, bro.
Bro, he said
they got like a whole website ranked.
I was about to say he just said he ranked it 91. So how many like did you do it out of 100? Like
I currently have on there 112.
100 and what was the top 5? I'm curious.
That's
Near
dedication.
the bottom. Philosophical. Top 5. Well, okay, well, do you count life experiences?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm confused on that question.
Okay, so my top 5 is Naruto Shippuden, Boruto, Rock Lee spinoff, and False Perfections.
Goodness. You would put your own series on it? Okay. Never mind. I don't know why I asked.
Hey, listen, bro. If we're not
counting life experiences, then my top 5 anime.
I thought I'm talking about the top 5 on that list that you had.
Okay, so the Mob Psycho, Cardcaptor Sakura, Ice Shield 21, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Megalobox.
That is a very interesting top 5.
That Cardcaptor is interesting, bro. That's wild.
Bro, it's like Pokemon. If Pokemon was just like an anime, and I don't want to say good, because Pokemon is good, but that just puts it into perspective how good Cardcaptor Sakura is.
Okay, I just remember that guy's voice for like what was it, last time or something he would say, like it was very epic sounding, the voice and the dub.
They had is it the same dude that be like last time on Dragon Ball Z?
No,
not that guy.
No, that's another dude, but I think maybe Udi has seen a more updated version of Cardcaptor Sakura than the one I'm thinking of. I'm not sure.
Had like I think it was 2019 sequel called Clear Card, but I think it only got 1 season. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
continued where the manga left off. Pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the newer stuff. But yeah, no. Okay, so there's G Gundam. Excited about that. Happy for that to come back. One of my favorite characters of all time. If you actually listen to my intro, you can hear some of the quotes from that show. And we also have, I do believe there is an isekai anime of DC Comics property, Suicide Squad. So we do have that anime. I do believe it's out now. Don't quote me on that. I think someone in chat the other day when I was streaming told me about it. I didn't really have too much interest in it. I kind of watched the trailer, and I think the art and animation looks fantastic. So I'm curious enough to kind of like maybe dip my toe in that water, but we'll have to kind of see how it parses out.
What anime did you say?
But that is a thing that you can probably watch. The Suicide Squad
from
DC
Suicide
Comics
Squad,
has its own isekai.
Oh,
anime.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, dope. Then is that the one that you saw we should do a watch along on?
What I'm kind of hoping, and what I'm kind of hoping is that we get like some anime Batman action. That could be fantastic. But yeah, we'll see.
Is that the series you say we should do a watch along on Twitch?
Yeah, one of them I think would be interesting. At least the first episode, that and Windbreaker.
Okay.
I've heard some
you said Windbreaker for sure. Yeah, I should definitely subscribe to us on Twitch. We'll get that watch along going on.
Yeah, that could definitely. Weird name. Sounds like someone's passing gas, but you know, it is what it is. It shows
what?
Up, so
this guy.
They call it Windbreaker, bro. I'm like,
oh yeah, true. Breaking wind. I get the reference.
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
Some powerful.
Back in military school, my sergeant would call it ripping ass. He's like, "How dare you rip ass in front of me?" That shit had me, bro. Because this dude always do that. No, so that's an aside. That's an aside.
But I was drinking juice while you said that. I almost choked.
It's an interesting name. But no, I do think
I would say like in terms of like the Boruto series, maybe missing some of those political and philosophical elements. If you think that there is something indeed missing from the Boruto series in comparison to the Naruto one, but I do think the Naruto one would probably, I would say it's definitely political and definitely philosophical for sure, which is interesting for like a shonen. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have to like compare it to other shonen.
I
Would
would say
Rurouni?
Would you compare like
it
Attack
has
on
those
Titan
elements.
to Shonen?
Yeah, I
I've
wouldn't say
never
it
seen
has.
Attack on
I
Titan.
wouldn't say it's the point. I'd say it only has those elements.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Like it has those elements, but I don't think it's the point. When you break it down to the soul of the show, what the core of it is about, it's not about those political elements. It just has those on top of it.
Well, what would you say is the point?
Of Boruto
Wait,
to be a
which one were you
continuation
talking
of
about?
Naruto. Yeah, I was talking about Naruto and Boruto.
Okay. So, what's the underlying point, do you think, of the Naruto series in particular?
It depends whether or not it's Tuesday, what my answer is going to be. The
What?
point of the Naruto series is a very interesting. It's a saying. The point of the Naruto series, for what I'll say off the top of my head for right now, it's about the perseverance of humanity, what it means to endure. How about that? Is that a good answer? I don't know.
Okay,
All
interesting.
right.
We can rock with that. And then I think we do also have some live action One Piece news
Yes,
for season
sir.
2, which has obviously been renewed, and they're revealing, I believe, 3 more cast members. They're not terribly significant cast members, but they are there nevertheless. So I do think it's interesting. A lot of these characters, again, One Piece characters are so like cartoonish in their design. It's very difficult to translate them over into live action.
Yeah, I feel
But
it.
yeah, I mean they're definitely season 1 was fantastic for me. There's some things I would have changed, of course, but nothing's perfect. But it was still great. The standout to me is obviously like Hawkeye, which was fantastic. When he just killing some time, like that shit was so fire. And then of course Nami was okay, goddess, gorgeous, like rock with that heavy. Love that actress. Best. I'm simping over her now. Okay. But yeah, those are. And I think, bro. I think Zoro. I think
Yeah,
Zoro
Zoro,
was
they did
great.
it.
I
Yeah,
think
Luffy too. I think they
yeah.
did a good job with
I
Luffy
think
and his character, the person they picked. You don't think so?
I think Sabo was fantastic. Sabo, sorry, my favorite character. I think Sanji was fantastic. Usopp was tolerable in this iteration, which is great. As far as Luffy, I think his powers are very difficult to translate in general with a low budget, and the character didn't really have Luffy's kind of comedic touch, and then also Luffy's a hothead, and he's very fiery in nature. Like he is that, like he's that kind of character, and I just didn't get that. He seemed a little bit more mild mannered, a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because
That wasn't my Luffy.
Yeah, you grew up
on enough job.
You grew up on One Piece, so it's like more near and dear to your heart than it is for me. I just watched it for the entertainment value, and I like the iteration that they had of Luffy. I mean, I did watch some One Piece, so I had a little bit to compare it to, but not as much as you do.
But I think that's the news.
Yeah.
We'll cover that really quickly.
When is that coming out? I'm on here right now. Netflix. It says Netflix announced 3. Oh, it's saying they announced 3 new cast members for the 2nd season. It's not saying when it drops. So no.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
When it says deadline reports that film will begin in June with an expected 2025 release date. So we can expect to see it sometime next year. It looks like. Yeah. I'm excited, bro. I like
late next year.
Yeah, most likely. Because they said, well, filming already started. They said deadline reports that filming will begin in June. So they're already filming it. So you may get it, beginning next year. Depends on how long it takes. I can see one episode taking a very long time.
I think you're cutting out again.
Golly, what's going on?
You're cutting out again. Boy said, golly. Jeez, Willikers.
Cheat Willikers.
That's wild. Yeah, so that's the news. Interesting stuff with that. Udi, did you have any news? I feel like I'm gonna regret asking this question.
I had some pretty good dinner tonight.
Oh
That's
my
news.
god.
Okay. You got
Newsworthy is a different question.
okay. Udi got that. What dinner code word for a nice companion tonight? Okay, I rock with that. I rock with that. Okay, bit Udi. Okay, no wonder you was kind of running a little late. Okay, I rock with that. Man, laying down some law. Okay, I rock with it.
Not
We
some law.
we got a tier list apparently. I think that's the
Not some law, bro. You say he was
thing that we
laying
put
down
in
some law.
in the title. I think you want to pull that up for again? Yeah, man, you gotta lay down some law, bro.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, bro.
I got you. Give me 1 second.
Gotta lay down the law, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing a Boruto 2 Blue Vortex tier list. I think there are some Boruto Power 1 characters on there, and it's gonna be building up towards chapter 11. I think you'll have to add Konohamaru on there because for whatever reason they just excluded Konohamaru.
I'll put him on there for you. I'll put him on there.
I got my boy.
You gotta send it to me again.
If you want to add any other characters,
one.
That is correct. That's correct. Let me see. If you have any other characters we would like to add on to that list, if you can look over it quickly, now would be the time to do that while I get this. Where is this?
You was real pressed on adding Konohamaru. You added
Wow.
you made your own thumbnail for it and everything. Took your time with it.
Got
No, I got that. I
damn
need the
straight.
link. I need the
Damn
link.
straight, man. You
Not-
got to.
I need the link though, not the Konohamaru TVB picture. That's what I need.
Yeah, I got you. Let me see.
Tangentially related to that, while you guys are setting that up, I got a question for y'all. Does the Boruto series stand on its own as a good series? Be honest. Shout out Anonymous Loner.
So
Well, last time he read a comment.
He did. So you talking about like if Naruto never existed and we just had to go into Boruto, like would it stand alone on its own without the influence of Naruto being on there?
That's an even better way of thinking of it. Yeah, I was thinking if we just never watched Naruto, but no, if Naruto just never existed in the first place, that's the best way of thinking of it. Yes.
You would have to rewrite everything. Like you wouldn't even, because then the question shifts to like, it literally forces us to do a rewrite of the show. So then like any answer that we would give becomes kind of irrelevant.
So there's our
shit, I gotta
answer.
add
Honestly,
Konohamaru again.
no.
Yeah, well, yeah, honestly, no. Yeah, I think it would be.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard
Because
to
it wouldn't
tell.
even functionally work.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell anyways because we all started watching Boruto as fans of Naruto, so only reason why I gave it a chance in the first place. Well, me personally, anyways, I wanted to see more of what was going on with Naruto.
If you have any extra tabs open, maybe close those.
I don't have nothing open. That's a crazy
That can
thing.
get your CPU a little bit lower.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute myself. Y'all
Is
keep
the
on going.
in your in your Streamlabs is the stream like going? I'm sorry. Never mind. You might do that particular thing. Never mind. But yeah, no. Maybe to your other question, like to the heart of it, do I think Boruto is as a series kind of stands on its own? And as far as I can measure that without Naruto as like a series, I would say I think so. I think the Boruto series is pretty good, all things considered. There is some depth missing there, so it kind of prevents it from elevating to, I would say, Naruto's level, like Naruto and Shippuden, like that level of just quality, like literature. I don't think it's possible for it to elevate that high, simply because even if you take all like the dope fights and stuff like that and the this or that, it's still gonna lack that depth. And that's what really that's what really, in my opinion, takes a series from being good to like legendary or iconic. When you can like quote the cycle of hatred stuff, that is a different level versus, hey, Himawari just had a really cool power up and a really cool fight with like the main antagonist at the moment, or sorry to dodge the Chidori. Like a lot of the conversation around Boruto right now is a lot of power scaling. And look at what we're about to do.
Exactly.
And it's not a lot of like analyzing or breaking down the actual like material itself, like the plot or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. There's some of that, sure, but I don't see like the bulk of that being the case. And I think maybe that kind of highlights a bit of a weakness when we're just really more so interested in who can beat who, or like what new abilities, or skilling and all this stuff. And I think that's probably for a reason, but that's just my take on it.
I 100% agree. In fact, for anyone listening, in case you haven't subscribed to the Walkie Talkie Podcast, great time to do that. I've done that on Walkie Talkie Podcast, break it down from the not power scaling perspective, from the narrative screenwriting perspective, me and Kamui. We got a couple of videos about the Shinju coming up. We've done a couple of videos on Kawaki. Those are coming up as well. And finally, narratively, we recently did a couple of videos about the story of Two Blue Vortex and what's the point of Two Blue Vortex, etc., etc. Those are all pretty good narrative videos. Even some previous stuff, we've covered that from narrative perspective, such as like why Enogene's fake out death even occurred in the first place, etc., etc., from the perspective of the writing. So very interesting stuff. Go check that out and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much.
There you go. I'm gonna give them a little taste of your opinion here. Just something they can chew on a little.
Well, okay. Something you said was interesting, especially a lot of people bringing it down from the power scaling perspective, because there was a Boruto stream I was watching from another YouTuber recently. I forget exactly who it was, but it was like a power scaler. And they were saying how they loved like Two Blue Vortex. And like their one piece of evidence that they pointed to, I'm gonna like misquote it, but I don't remember it exactly. It was about, I think it was how strong Boruto looked. And they're like, this is their evidence for why Boruto Two Blue Vortex has been good and enjoyable for them from the writing perspective. I think that's interesting. They're not even looking at it from like the actual writing perspective. It's almost like Dragon Ball Shonen, to where it's not about the story, because the shonen elements are so intertwined into the narrative to where they almost become a part of it in and of itself.
I think I would agree.
I don't think it supplements the material, but I think it can complement it to such a degree to where you don't have to be aware of the material as long as it isn't absent. So as long as there's writing elements at play, whether good or bad, if the power scaling is enjoyable, I think that's enough to make a
Yeah, because I was
series
gonna ask
good
you, like,
for
do you
certain people,
do you
which is very
think
interesting.
the people who kind of just look at it for, because I was gonna say like maybe look at it as a valuable series for its more surface level elements, but even that might be like loaded, because it's maybe surface level from my perspective, and from their perspective it may be the entire reason why they're even engaging with the material. But just from my perspective, I'll say, do you think it's bad that that seems to be the thing that a lot of people are trending towards? Not the plot or anything like that, but more so like what I would consider the surface level stuff, like the power scaling, the abilities and stuff like that.
Right. I think it can get annoying if you look at it from a negative lens, but if you look at it from a more, I don't know what this word means, but I'm gonna use it, holistic perspective, then I think it becomes a little bit different. I think if they're looking at it from like the surface level perspective, obviously you can say it's like ignorant or whatever. Because for anyone watching my channel, I just love the title X makes no sense. So I'll have it like Boruto makes no sense, Kawaki makes no sense, etc., etc. People in the comment section obviously are going to be like, it does make sense. Are you not considering this obvious thing? Well, no, I am considering that. Oh, you're making it too complicated. That's the difference. They're not making it complicated enough because they refuse to look at the series beyond the surface level. They're not looking at the nuances or anything. Like with Kurama's death, there's a lot of conversation there about him being revived, and everyone's like, "Oh, are you forgetting it was stated in Shippuden that they come back?" That's not the point, because you have to look at beyond just that to look at the actual conversation being had.
And what's that conversation, do you think? Like if you had to make like an appeal to the plot of TBV so far? Like appeal to a person and like say, hey, like there is number one, there is a plot here that is good, and then like number like here's what it is. Like what would you say? Like how would you break it down so far? Like what are the appealing parts of it?
It's funny you say that. I have already done this. If I had to do it again, it would take me 6 hours because it took me 6 hours the first time. Um,
Wait,
if
wait, wait,
you
wait. If it
yeah,
took you
yeah.
6 hours the first time, you should definitely be faster this time because you already know what you're gonna say, right?
Well, I'd say this first arc is a lot about identity, which is a lot of what Naruto is about, especially the first part of the war arc. I want to break that down pretty soon coming up. Um, but it's about identity from a lot of different perspectives. You got the omnipotence angle between Kawaki and Boruto. You have Sarada and Sumire fighting against omnipotence. You have Mitsuki and Ada's conversation in a way that's about their identity. And then obviously the Shinju trying to find their identity when I believe they actually already have it. So it's about looking through their perspective, how they're going about it, and how they're almost running away from something else. I think all these different angles, as well as you got a couple other examples. You got Delta being Akabe and Amado shenanigans there about identity. You got Shikamaru. Is he going to become Hokage or is he going to continue fighting against Boruto? All these different angles about identity. I think it works pretty brilliantly if you break it down. The problem is, I'm afraid that you need a video essay to do the analysis because I think it's not currently in the series. I think the series should be able to stand on its own without me having to explain why it's good. For example, you don't need some YouTube video essay to explain to you why the scene of Sasuke unlocking his 3 Tomoe Sharingan is good. The series itself already has that in it for you. It's more or less obvious, as opposed to the Shinju finding their identity. I feel like the series hasn't made it clear yet why that's quote unquote good.
I think that's an interesting perspective. Do you have a take on that for you before I go?
Sorry, I'm trying to
I
work on my
suppose not.
audio. Just like give me a minute. Sorry.
You good? Adding
All
on
right,
to that
you
really
got it.
quick,
You got it.
Mello, is
Yeah.
I think you have to look at scenes in Naruto or Boruto as iconic landmarks. So, for example, when I mentioned the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, what makes that scene good isn't the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, but that's something tangible I can point to. It's the hype, but it's shallow, surface level, it's empty on its own. It's the sprinkles on top of the ice cream, whereas the ice cream is the narrative. It's the base layer, and you can't just skip the base layer. The sprinkles makes the ice cream better, but you can't eat the sprinkles by themselves. And I feel like that's what Boruto, especially Two Blue Vortex, has been lacking. It's giving you just the sprinkles, just the hype, without something to back it up, something actually substantially there, if that makes sense.
So what? So if you were to remove what you call the hype, and I've never seen Two Blue Vortex, and I'm asking you, what is this like about? Like what's the appeal here? How would you like go about? How
Yeah.
would you go about
So
explaining that to me?
I would go about explaining it in a different way from how the series is going about explaining it because I believe, as of right now, the series hasn't asked any questions. It hasn't really developed many themes. It's even difficult, arguably, to point to who the main character or protagonist is supposed to be, at least of this first arc. And so I could break it down, but the problem is, if you go into the series, you would have to go based off of my breakdown because I don't think the series itself is giving you that, as of right now, anyways. So, for example, looking at Naruto Part 1, you have the Land of Waves. What that is about, it's about Zabuza and Naruto's clash of ideology. What does it mean to be a shinobi? The bridge building mission is so removed from the story, it's the plot element to surface the story, to service it to get to the story that it's almost unimportant in a way. It's the important thing going on, but it isn't what's really going on. What's going on there is about what it means to be a shinobi and that difference of philosophy between the protagonist and antagonist. I think Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is lacking that. It's making the conceptual bridge building mission the point, which I think they need to remove that entirely.
Okay. So as that pertains to Boruto,
2 Blue Vortex. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
So what
You're
about
basically
how it
using the land
pertains
of
to that?
yeah. That's kind of what I'm asking. Like, so
Okay, okay.
because if you were using the Land of Waves arc as like a kind of way of explaining concepts that aren't like being presented in the TBV series so far, I kind of missed that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how does that pertain to like Boruto?
I
If that
think
was what you were doing. Yeah.
every story at its core needs a question, a theme, a lesson to teach its audience. I feel like Boruto 2 Blue Vortex hasn't really been asking questions. At least they're not spelling it out to the audience to where I think to some extent they need to. Like again, with Naruto, what does it mean to be a shinobi? That's what that first arc is about. And then that's the overarching theme that leads to the rest of the series, which is why I think this first arc is very important. It's not about the developing themes that go arc by arc. It's about the overall theme because it's the first arc in the series. It sort of has to do that, establish that. And so I feel like comparing the first arc of both series is very important for that regard. I feel like they're not doing that. So I don't know what to expect going forwards.
I think that's some damn good analysis, Udi. It's
Oh,
damn good
thank you.
analysis. I'm thinking because I didn't really think about it on that level at all, to be honest. I think that's actually really interesting. A question asked, like, cause that's true. Cause like I'm trying to wonder like what is that question being asked, and I try to like overlay like what you were talking about with identity to top that, but cause
Yeah.
if I take a look at like you said Zabuza and Naruto,
That's where the
like
story is. Because that's where
like
the
like
conflict is.
yeah, like you can see like one character is Zabuza's presenting like the shinobi world in one light, or at least you know how he fits in it, and Naruto's like rejecting like what is put forth. It's almost like a debate, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah. So there's this back and forth occurring throughout the series, which kind of comes to like I think a crescendo around when Zabuza starts to break down and whatnot. But if I'm thinking about the Boruto series, I'm not getting that back and forth necessarily. And if I am, I'm trying to think about where it would be. Um,
Yeah.
because
So
like
with Naruto, oh, go ahead.
so yeah, real quick,
Yeah,
I was gonna say because I think maybe because they don't have like a villain to anchor, like a villain that belief solidified to even be challenged to begin with to anchor this series because the Shinju are so new, they're trying to figure things out. But I think what's kind of funny is like they already have such distinct personalities already, but they haven't like
yeah,
come to that conclusion. So like in the process of trying to find themselves, right, they're revealing themselves. So that I think that's but not to themselves. So I think that's kind of interesting, but because they are like that kind of archetypical character, I would say, I don't think that they even themselves can even put forth the question that can even be answered or a conclusion that can be refuted. Um, so I, because if I take a look at like Boruto, it's just like Boruto seems to at the very least wanted to destroy the Ten Tails because it was going to do something bad, but there's no like ideological like conflict there, and there's a lot of mysteries like surrounding what the bad was even what it even was or what or how it would even come about. So we can't even like yeah like we don't even know what questions would be asked or like how would Boruto as like a character in the series even refute what was being presented because we don't even know what's presented because it's like shrouded in mystery. And then we have like I'm thinking Code. There's there's definitely nothing that he's like really presenting. He's almost like a joke character. He's not actually trying to answer any questions presented because there doesn't seem to be any. The Shinju can't present any questions. Himawari doesn't know what the fuck's going on, although she's trying to find out, but she fails. Sarada's trying to find stuff out. It just seems like all the characters that you would think would be in like the Naruto role, they don't they're not given anything clear or like you know decisive, so they don't even know how to even respond in like a story sense. They're still trying to ask
exactly.
questions to figure shit out, so it's kind of interesting that you know
Staying on the same wavelength, in part one, Naruto, there's one main character. The story revolves around Naruto. In Two Blue Vortex, it's in the title. There could be two or more main characters. It sounds almost oxymoronic, but it's possible. You just have to provide as much depth as you would for one main character to multiple. And that is extremely difficult to do, which is arguably why the story is, I don't want to say fumbling or falling to shambles or anything, but it's a lot more difficult to write a story with multiple main characters because each main character has to have what one main character has. And it's very difficult to share that spotlight and write characters as main characters with that much depth and nuance as you would with one because there's only one story being told. Keeping that in mind, going with that perspective, assuming there is multiple main characters, you can approach this same question from multiple perspectives. What's the question? Well, if the arc is about identity, what has been presented as a possible question, maybe not to the audience, but as an analysis breaking it down, you could argue Jura and Kurama are arguably saying the same thing from two different lenses, which would be the protagonist versus antagonist clash of ideals. They're asking the question of the arc, well, how do you find your identity in a world as mysterious as this? Kurama seems to be it's accepting it and moving on, uh, getting rid of your preconceived biases and moving forwards. Jura seems to be stuck in the past. He's trying to find out why things are happening. He's not letting things go in that way, which I think could be his downfall, quote unquote. He doesn't know what he's looking for, even though he's trying. Whereas Kurama, he's trying to move forward. It doesn't matter what he's looking for because he's already accepted who he himself is. When you look at the Shinju and their identity, it's almost paradoxical because they're looking for something I believe they already have. For example, they're blinded to the fact that they don't have an identity when they themselves gave themselves a name. They identify as Jura, Hidari, Matsuri, etc. Bug is actually interesting because he could be the antithesis of that idea. If he never named himself, he's not even interested in his identity. But Jura and Hidari, we'll focus on them since they're in the limelight right now. They, as far as I'm aware, named themselves. Why would they do that if they don't know what their identity is? And then they are clearly acting in ways that show their identity, that show that they are unique, that they do stand out. They're trying to find that not through themselves, not internally, but seeking that validation outwards through other characters who I'm assuming they believe have found their identity themselves, but arguably haven't. Naruto isn't even around to present the possibility of having of an identity right now. Kurama is, in a way, trying to make Himawari awaken to her identity by giving up her preconceived biases or whatever, accepting the outcome moving forward. You could argue she's done that by this point, but that's thanks to Kurama, not because of herself, which is almost paralleling the Shinju in a way. It's funny because the Shinju have humanity, but they're also the Tin Tails. So in a way, they're both. But also, humanity itself is in a way similar to that. It's almost the opposite end of the same coin, to where humanity is mostly humans, but partly alien through Kaguya's genetics or whatever. They have chakra. They can use it, all these different abilities, Kekkei Genkai. So, but like the Shinju, they are the Tin Tails, but they have humanity, which I think is very interesting, that dynamic there.
Do you think if let's say that is kind of like what they're trying to get at is just what is all of this what is all of this about, like kind of who you are, your identity, just on a surface level? Do you think the way, because I'm thinking, I look at like Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, like you said, the Land of Waves arc, it's written so differently than Boruto TBV, almost so much so that you would question if the same person's writing it. It's kind of interesting that, but maybe in service of trying to put forth that idea about, this is about identity and trying to figure out who you are, or rather maybe coming to the realization that that is not like some answer that you can come to that's going to be concrete, but it's like an ever evolving thing because you are ever evolving and changing. So you'll never really truly find that. So while they're trying to look for it at some point, I would imagine the Shinju are going to discover themselves just in general, like discover themselves in the process of doing that. But I don't know. I just think it's interesting because it could be like a stroke of genius where like we're looking at it like, oh, this is not very deep. There's no depth there, but it could be, well, it needs to be written in this way that appears to be shallow so that later on, like he can execute like the layers of depth that are there, but just underneath the surface. Because if you can maybe arrive at the conclusions without it being stated in the series so far, that's probably for a reason, because there's something there to work with, and maybe that is what Kishimoto is working with. I don't know. It's interesting though, but
I I
yeah.
don't want to change the topic to this, but I'm pretty confident it's not the same writer. In the back of volume 1, they credit the manga to Ikimoto now, not the art, but the manga. And Kishimoto's credited to the supervision. And if you've seen the thing about the Nimu, the manuscript, seems like Kishimoto just gives the drafts and then it's really up to Ikimoto to do the dialogue, paneling, scenes, just everything, really. So Kishimoto might give input on ideas, but the final call for everything comes down to Ikimoto. And I do believe Kishimoto is giving Ikimoto that almost privilege, almost handing him the series in a sense. Whether Kishimoto's done with Boruto or not, whatever, that's not necessarily important. Also, the fact that it's alleged that they're working on a third sequel series.
Oh God.
Saruto, even, who knows? So I think Kishimoto would be focused on that if he's focused on anything. But
Wow.
it's a different
Where'd you
thing.
hear
But
that from?
I'd have to go find the source again, but I
Okay,
think it
I
was from
got
an
you.
interview, recent one.
Man, I hope it's about Himawari. I
Wait,
don't
so
know.
they're serious about that?
Allegedly.
It's
Allegedly.
not. It's not
Allegedly.
Saruto. It's just a third series.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
joking about the Saruto thing.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh, Sticking on topic though, last thing I'll say on this, unless we wanted to continue with this, I think you could argue it's a stroke of genius. I don't know if it's even intentional is the problem because I'm having to do a lot of work to sort of polish this turd in a sense. Comparing that to Naruto, what I really like from stories, maybe this is just personal bias, I really like when the protagonists and antagonists are really set in their ways to have that strong clash of ideals. At least with Naruto, the point is it's about Naruto's failure to change. Because looking at the Zabuza Naruto dynamic, Zabuza and all antagonists of Naruto represent a victim of the world itself. Naruto's trying to change the world. In doing so, the world itself is resisting Naruto, in turn trying to change Naruto, making him give up. Notice how
Sorry,
that's a thing.
do you mean fail to change or refuse to change?
Well, it's same thing. It's just different wording, but yeah, refusal to change.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So within Naruto's refusal to change, his stubbornness, the world itself rejecting Naruto, it can't maintain that because it has flaws in it, whereas Naruto doesn't. He remains pure in this sense. So the world changes almost by itself. Through Naruto's stubbornness, his refusal to change. It's not that Naruto's changing the world. Naruto didn't change Zabuza. Naruto allowed Zabuza to change himself by proving to Zabuza the correct path, waking Zabuza up to something that he's had all along. Like Zabuza said, I forget the exact quote, but even shinobi are human, no matter how hard we try to tell ourselves that we're not.
Yeah, it's
You look
like
at Neji and Gaara and everyone, Sasuke, Sasori. Well, I guess he didn't fight Sasori, but you get the idea. Every antagonist up through Obito is the same thing. It's a reflection and the embodiment of the world Naruto's trying to change. Naruto's stubbornness, in a sense, changes the world because Naruto refuses to change. You take that to Boruto, I don't think they're trying to do the same thing. So you'd have to look at it through a different lens entirely. It's not about the refusal to change. I think Boruto, in a sense, might be trying to change the world itself or something else.
mm, that's interesting. Because I was like, yeah, like so basically Naruto, he's not he's not adding on something that wasn't there. This desire for a better world, to be better people, is already there, but it's like buried underneath so many layers of like context and complexities given the world they live in. All Naruto effectively does is act like a light that points to, hey, like this thing here, it's here. And through my refusal to like conform to the way you're saying things are, I effectively shine a light on what's already there, which is almost this kind of like naive notion that you can be better or do things differently in this type of world, which I think kind of gets back to like when Kadin senses Naruto's chakra relative to Sasuke's, and she says it's so bright. And they always kind of refer to Naruto as like that light, keep him clean and pure while they do like kind of like the dirty work of the Gringy stuff. And I think that was a really wise decision that they made for Naruto. Because I do think, yeah, like he's that character that kind of shines the light on kind of those desires almost that were always there, but just kind of ignored because just how life is. It really does. I think that's one of the brilliant things about the Naruto series. I can always say that it seems timeless. Timeless in terms of like the themes it kind of relays or the themes that it covers from like reality, right? Like I think the world right now is in such a state in real life to where it would be very difficult to not make a change or have it change you. It would take a revolutionary like like generational motherfucker to like having like hey to go against the status quo, go against like all these years of established history and in the way of things being done, but then also have like the power and influence to make their their position in the world kind of everyone else's position in the world, because I always say things have to be backed by power or some by some means, through some means, either power through respect or fear, or whatever the case may be. But nothing can really be resolved from like a standpoint of weakness, because at the end of the day, I think that's the beauty of like a battle shonen. I think is that given that I believe that's true, Naruto still needs to fight these people. He still needs to like, hey, you guys are trying to like change the world. Well, one of the ways in which you're trying to do that, shape and mold the world, is through your power. So I need to like, once I remove the option of that, then you're gonna be like forced to listen to me. And I think he did that with Sasuke in particular, where once he just beats Sasuke in a fight, Sasuke has no choice but to like lay his ass there and like listen, or like bear witness to his emotions through like their conflict. But yeah, Naruto as a series just it really is like a fantastic series. I think so. Just kind of wrapping up my points about it. I think it's fantastic for sure. And I think as far as Boruto goes, I think maybe it's like a role reversal to where instead of the villains having like this ideology that they believe in or like this approach or like being the anchor in that sense, the heroes are, the protagonists are, and the villains are the ones trying to answer the questions that the protagonists are asking. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's like a role reversal in that sense.
That's interesting, though.
What? Yeah.
I want to say something more, but if you guys want to move on, we can. You're almost dragging it out of me.
Go ahead.
Not cook, bro. Cook.
Yeah,
All right, I'm just saying, if we're here staying on this for like 3 hours, don't blame me.
Hey, bro, listen,
Okay,
we making
okay.
content, bro. We're making content.
All right. This is why I love what they do with Boruto expanding on Naruto. To get to that, I have to explain Naruto first. Going back to the core crux, the main question, the overarching theme, the point of Naruto. This is why I say it's about the perseverance of humanity, because it's not about Naruto. It's about what Naruto does to the world. The world itself already has that good essence in it. And for all intents and purposes, Naruto does change Neji, Gaara, Sasuke, Obito. But really, Naruto is helping them save themselves from themselves. It's very interesting because people saved Naruto from Naruto as well. Going back to the original question, what does it mean to be a shinobi? We get that first question asked by Naruto and Zabuza before Naruto even has his ninja way. This is where he cements his ninja way to fight the world going forwards. Zabuza believes that ninjas are tools. Well, we see the end result of that through Haku. He becomes broken. Why? Whereas Naruto doesn't, because Naruto's more vulnerable. He's willing to open up, to talk with the shinobi, to talk to his enemies. That's where the talk no jutsu meme comes from. But it's about the idea, and I think this holds true throughout all of Naruto going into Boruto, and arguably the rest of media. This question, what it really boils down to is whether or not humanity should have emotion, because emotion is both humanity's greatest strength and its greatest weakness, especially for shinobi. That's why this world rejects emotion. Zabuza isn't even looking at the perspective of where emotion is possible. You have to kill your heart to become a shinobi. That's what leads to Haku becoming a broken tool. Not just a tool, but a broken one, because shinobi are human. Whereas Naruto, remaining true, he doesn't become broken or anything like that. He persists, he perseveres, just as humanity does, because he's looking at it from both perspectives. He is looking at the strength that emotion can provide. You don't just have to kill your heart to become a shinobi. Yes, if you do that, then you can become a strong shinobi, just as Haku did. But through the will of fire or other emotion, the strength emotion can provide you, as well as its weakness, you can become an even stronger person. Keeping that into Boruto, you have the question, what does it mean to be a shinobi in an era that no longer requires shinobi? Well, again, going back to the main question, shinobi are human, in essence. This gets down to what does it mean to be human? Which, going into Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, with the heart of the shinobi persisting despite the era, it's about the perseverance of humanity despite shinobi not being required. Humanity persists. Going into Boruto, what does it mean to be human through this identity arc, this first arc? And the Shinju and how they present that question, I think is going to be very interesting.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Well said. Very nice. I do have some ideas about that, but we can maybe save those for a later time. Free game, you have the tier list up. You ready?
Yeah, I
you
have
good?
it up.
Your audio's good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Bad. Whenever you're ready. Because like we gotta see it on our end.
Yeah, my bad. I was talking to my granny. Oh, all right, hold on.
Hey, listen, man, don't let me stop that from happening, bro.
All right, I got the tier list up here. But you want me to share it on the screen for us too?
So it's like a great place for a bathroom break while y'all get that going. So
this guy in his bathroom
kind of breaking up.
He gotta go tinkle, bro. That's basically what he said.
I don't think guys tinkle, but yeah, pull up the list. We'll kind of do like a little bit of an introduction if we want to clip it later. And
he said guys
I am gonna get a I ain't never tinkled a day in my life. But yeah, I'm gonna get a swig of this juice real quick and I'll be right back.
For sure, Mello.
We counting on you to hold it down for a game, okay? Do sing a song like Bara, okay?
Yeah, they about to hear some silence. You think I'm about to sing a song? All right, my bad. These guys want me to entertain people, and I'm making phone calls all in the background. I don't know if they can hear me or not. I'm just going to shut my microphone off on here. But yeah, so I guess we're doing this tier list. Mello, he really begged me to put Konohamaru on here. I don't know what the real big reason was. But definitely want to get you guys' opinion on the tier list. People that we have on here. If you want to see anybody else on the tier list, definitely let me know, and I get them put up on here. Oh, this is talking. If you want to join the conversation for the tier list as well, then hit that button right there. I got the Discord link tagged down below. So just hit that Discord link and you can join the stage and just raise your hand and I'll bring you up
I
here.
guess I'm a recheck. I gave Boruto more chances than most series. To me, it is.
My bad. This is
unnecessary failure.
crazy. I had myself muted and I was talking and then you're still talking. I should have just muted you, but trying to keep the podcast going. What was you saying? You say you gave Boruto what?
I was reading chat as well.
Oh, what did they say?
But
They gave Boruto more chances than most series. To me, it's a unnecessary failure, is what someone else says. I think that's a little bit too much. In terms of Boruto Part 1.
Unnecessary. An unnecessary. That's an interesting way of saying it.
It's very interesting. All right.
All right. Yeah. We are back. We are back. Hajime Master Watashi wa Mello Desune. We are back. We are back.
Did you just be some type of Japanese, not Chinese? What do they call it?
That is exactly what I spoke. It's not some type of Japanese. It's just straight Japanese.
How many types of Japanese?
What does Chinese people? What does Chinese people talk?
I think Mandarin. Maybe?
Mandarin. There you go. That's what I was thinking of. I know it's not Chinese. I didn't want to say Chinese.
No, the Chinese language is extremely beautiful. I have no idea how to say it without sounding racist, so I just don't even attempt.
What? Say it is beautiful is racist? That's crazy.
No, I mean, just if you're trying to like, does anyone here know a Chinese term?
No.
Besides, like maybe Shaolin or some shit like that.
Didn't even know that was Chinese, brother. No.
Yeah, no, I think that it's a wonderful culture. Just
I want to go.
Dictators and shit.
I want to go. I want to check it out. It looks beautiful. Nah, it has to look like it has some beautiful places. I want to go.
No, bro, listen, stay your black ass. For your own safety.
I was going to go to Japan once, but they had the earthquake, so I couldn't go.
You saw how they used to draw black folks in Dragon Ball. Okay, you better be careful, man.
And they love us. Listen. Give me a little Chinese broad. Yeah. Black man. Big black man.
So you say. So this tier list.
All right, so tier list. Yeah, welcome to the tier list, everyone. Watch that tier list.
Hey, yo, that Arby's looking nice, bro.
Yo,
and by nice, I mean like trash. Okay, look nasty.
Hey, Arby's is actually really good, bro. I used to think the same thing because of the commercials. Their sandwiches never look good on their commercials. And I tried it one time and I was like, yo, Arby's actually is really good. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it.
All fun and games till one of those 18+ game ads pop up.
No, I have it like stretched out on the screen, I think. So if any ads pop up, I don't think anybody. No, that's how I have it. I have it stretched out so they can't see the ads on the side. We get it.
When I sides is a good idea.
Well, let me just do that on my end since
I'm
watching pre-game streams.
Yeah, you gotta resize it. I can't resize it on the sharing screen on Discord. So yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
It's kind of crazy.
All right.
So are we going to start?
So what exactly is this tier list? We have a lot of Boruto characters. So it's in terms of the strong, like it's a power scaling tier list.
It says the strongest at the top.
Is that what we're doing, or are we going like best in terms of other aspects, narrative? I don't know.
How do you think we should cook with it? I mean, this is merely ingredients. You tell me what you want to cook.
If Tommy was here, I would say goofiest characters, but we shouldn't do that. So
what?
I feel like a lot of power scaling tier lists exist. I feel like narrative tier list could be cool. Who's been like the best characters written in Two Blue Vortex? Could be an interesting way to do it.
Yeah, we can do that next time. But all the titles, it's like God level, demigod, higher tier, mid tier, low tier, pure fodder. Like, I mean,
strongest. You can change those titles. To be fair,
Oh, that is true.
they're not solidified.
Midstream. Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, I mean, we can do whatever tier list you guys want. I think.
Let's just do this for right now.
idea.
I know.
Still.
I do agree, but
Oh,
I think changing the midstreams
Yeah, so,
crazy.
So who we starting with?
The first one, bro. I gotta look close at my computer. Hold on. These things are small. Matsuri. All right, there you go.
You
Matsuri
can zoom
Shinju.
in. You press.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to do that.
Your
forget, if you
computer
press
has it.
Control plus. Okay, never mind.
Matsuri.
You have a Your frame rate is elite, bro. That's crazy.
What do you mean?
Matsuri.
Why you say that?
It's just your cursor move. Your cursor moves a little slow. I think your frame rate's a little.
It's
low.
because of Streamlabs. I have it moving too like it's too high capacity. I gotta drop down the something I can't remember. So it's probably
fine.
using a lot
It's
of my
Yeah, I can actually give me like 1 second because I can just pull the list up on my end for just for my purposes, and I can like kind of move as you
In that
move
case,
on
can you
yours.
just link it to me too?
Yeah,
Sure.
but give me a second.
So I can stop sharing my screen.
So you,
Probably
so
make my computer move
your
faster.
yours will be for the yeah, you can stop sharing
Yeah.
it. Well, yeah, it's fine because you can verbalize it to us. I think we might need to add the Konohamaru stuff. but
I
outside
added
of that,
Konohamaru. Want me to just send you the one I have?
I'm not sure if it'll work that way.
Oh, it won't pop up. Because it's not
They might
saved.
have updated, I think, actually. We'll see.
But
we'll
I
see,
have
we'll see.
Konohamaru on mine at least though, so I don't know if that helps for y'all.
Can you maybe just send the image to Udi, or I can send it to him really quickly. Hold on. And he can just add it, or he can just add his own image of Konohamaru.
Mission.
Where is that?
I got it.
thing?
I'll send it to him. Okay, maybe I don't because my computer is acting strange. It won't let me open my folders.
The ultimate strange computer. I rock with it. Let me see. Udi, do you watch Star Wars by any chance?
No. But Conley talks about it, so I know things about it.
Interesting.
I used to watch that with my grandfather.
Used to.
Yeah, I don't watch it no more.
That's unfortunate.
Why you ask?
Oh, your grandfather's fine. You just, cause I was like, oh man, it sucks. Like your grandfather passed. But I guess you guys just stopped watching it.
Yeah, I stopped watching it with him.
Bad.
He still watched it. I just didn't watch it anymore. Oh, I'll send it to him. Here it is. I got it. Let me see.
I already sent it to him.
Oh, god damn it. You're faster than me.
I am ready. Are we gonna mix up the tiers, or are we just leaving the tiers as is? Just keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Bad.
Yeah.
All right. Where we putting that for again? What you thinking?
Matsuri? I mean, we ain't see nothing from Matsuri. How we can really power scale her?
Where you putting her?
I mean, we've seen something from her.
What?
I, mean,
I saw her
seen that
walk
fat
out.
ass,
Yeah, I was about
boy.
to say. I was just about to say, Mello only gonna say he saw that ass. That ain't there. So young Amal ass, bro. Yeah, she ain't got no ass. I ain't seen no butt. I still haven't seen no butt.
Bro,
you sent it to me, bro. You sent it to. I put a. I'm about to put a poll up. I'm put a.
That's fucking wild,
I
bro.
ain't see no eyes. I'm gonna
put Mitsuri. I've already done this list, so I'll try to make it more mainstream. Okay, probably right now in God level.
You gonna put her in God level? You said.
Is that
Alright.
is that comfortable with that so far? Given that we don't have anything else on this list.
Well, considering in the volume cover she looks like a pufferfish, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Pufferfish.
She does.
You must be talking about them cakes. Them things do be puffing, bro.
Bruh, there's no cakes there. Oh my gosh.
Where you putting her, Udi? Pufferfish level?
Man,
I don't think that's an option.
Freaking who starts a tier list with Matsuri? Whoever made this list is stupid person.
Oh, dang! I think
Well, to
Mello
be
made this
fair, you don't
list.
have to go in order. Okay. How about this? How about we just do all the Shinju really quickly,
That's cool.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
and then we can move them around as we go. So I'm gonna put I'm
Yeah.
just on my person. I put Mitsari in God tier. I'm gonna put Jura in the strongest. I'm gonna put. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put Jura strongest, Mitsari demigod, Hirari god level, and I'm going to put Bug in god level above Hirari. That's where I'm putting them. Any contention?
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
Above.
Say that one more time.
Well, you mean demigod or god level?
So the strongest is gonna be Jura, god level in order, Bug, then Hirari, and then underneath in demigod Mitsari.
Oh, you got Misa and Demigod. All right, man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is probably not going to age well. She comes out and start destroying shit. Would you put Hidari behind?
Well, the funny
Bug?
thing is,
Yeah, well, this is gonna be like the first 11 chapters time of recording, obviously. Just
Yeah.
state that to your list. Yeah.
na-
Yeah. So
narratively, Bug should be the weakest. Jura should be the strongest. It's almost been portrayed as the exact opposite, which is hilarious.
yeah. So like I know people disagree with me on this. Okay, it is what it is. The internet, but yeah, I do think there was a 1v1 conflict. There was a 1v1 fight between Bug and Boruto ran over to Code and asked him for help. Okay, I removed begged. Okay, I removed him begging for help, but he asked for help. So I think that's an admission that he can't. At 1v1 beat Boruto in a fair one because Boruto ran and asked for help. I don't think, but Hiradu kind of clashed with him. And given what Sakura did to him, I think he's below Bug for now. And I think just narratively, Jura is above Bug, even though I haven't really, had any real reasons to kind of power-wise put him above. Yeah. So that's my rationale. And then like Mitsuri, we haven't seen very much from her. So I just feel comfortable kind of putting her in Demi. But she might be God level, but just beyond Hirari. Just underneath him in God level. It just depends.
The thing is, in universe, yeah, at least what makes most sense to me, I think Hidari should be the strongest, and then Matsuri behind Hidari, but they're never gonna do that. Like, I can imagine Hidari maybe being equal to Jura, just like having that Boruto Hidari dynamic there of student teacher shenanigans, but I don't think they're actually gonna go somewhere with that unless they do next chapter. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. Just three different ways to look at it: how it's been portrayed, the narrative, and then what makes sense in universe.
So that's
Completely different
how
answers.
you want to put them? I mean, I don't care.
I just put them how you said them. So go in
Okay.
narrative, I guess.
I guess then I'll just take her out of Demigod, Mitsari, and just put her behind Hirari and God level. I think that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. What about you, Free Game? You cool with this ranking so far? We can move them as we go.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, bro.
Okay. Because I'm thinking it might even be possible to drop Jura down to God level. Because I'm pretty sure the strongest is going to be reserved for like, isn't Shibai on this list? So I don't know, but it's fine.
He is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop him down to God level.
What do you think about? Yeah, okay, we can do that. I'll put him in front of Bug at God level. So what do you think about? No, I said I'm gonna move Jura down to God level, like you said.
Oh, okay.
In front of Bug. So it'll be Jura, Bug, Hirari, Mitsari.
But
and if any members want to hop up and give their take on this, feel free to. So what do you guys think about Shibai and Damon? Where are we putting them?
Okay, people don't like my take on this. I think Damon is far stronger than Shibai.
Wow. Okay.
Why?
Reasoning?
He said it himself. Everyone else who should be strong is just like laughable to him. Compared to the strongest, he is 3 ranks above. And he seems confident that I have no reason to disagree with him. So I think he is just 3 tiers above Shibai.
Where'd you get the 3
Yeah.
tiers, 3 ranks? Where'd the 3 come
Because
from?
so I think the exact quote, I don't remember the exact quote off the top of my head. He's like, compared to like 2 and 3, I'm like number 1 or whatever he says. You know what I'm talking about, right? That quote says it in the code fight.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I know what
It's
you're talking
G
about.
yeah,
Honto. He's talking about how Naruto and Sasuke and Jigen are all fodder to him.
So you took that as
And he's
3
like,
times, huh? Okay. Or
not 3 times,
three
just
ranks, 3
3
ranks.
tiers above. Yeah,
3
exactly.
tiers. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you got Damon at the strongest then.
Oh,
Above,
for sure, by far, yeah.
and then followed by Shibai in strongest.
It's almost like Zeno from Dragon Ball Super. He doesn't need to lose, or even Beerus or Whis. He's just above them, and they don't need to have him as a goalpost to surpass or anything. It doesn't seem like it's narratively heading in that direction. I think Damon just always will be the strongest and never lose.
What do you think for a game?
I mean, yeah, above Shibai though. We don't even. I don't know. I don't know if we can put him above Shibai. I think Damon be gassing it sometimes. He can't be the strongest.
Well, what does
Say that,
Damon
but-
do if he's fighting Shibai and Shibai flies up in the air? You ever think of that?
Then Damon
And you would
reflect it
doesn't
to
Damon
where
hold on
Damon's
wait
actually
is
flying
then
and he's on
Damon
the ground.
abilities derived from Shibai? So like, when Shibai be able to do the same exact thing that Damon can do, plus more? Because he only got one.
Surpasses the last.
Nah, he only got one ability from Shibai, that reflection ability. Shibai has Ada's ability, the omnipotence ability. He has way more abilities than Damon has.
So
Sasuke got his abilities from Kakashi. Did Sasuke never surpass Kakashi?
He got. You said.
I mean, DMS. I mean, Putin.
But then,
Yeah,
but then Sasuke, like, all right, Sasuke got a technique from Kakashi. He didn't get an ability from Kakashi. That's 2 different things. He didn't take Kakashi's Sharingan, which was never Kakashi's. So he didn't take an ability. He took a technique. So Damon took an ability from Shibai. That's 2 different things. And then Shibai has other god level techniques on top of that, besides just a little petty reflection ability. So then, what it will rely on is his brute strength.
Petty little reflection ability is crazy.
It's the only thing that he has.
Like, take all the abilities away.
That's what I'm saying. You'll have to just go with brute strength then.
Shibai this fight. Yeah. So how strong is Shibai?
Bro, he ain't getting touched because he's in a different dimension. So I would say that he shits on him. It's just like an ant. An ant sees 2D, human sees 3D. We step on them.
You know what we call that in debates? BFR, battlefield removal.
You ever seen you know that you can put a circle around an ant and it will be confused forever? Like, just write a circle around an ant with an ink pen and it'll be confused forever because it sees in 3D. He's in a different dimension, man. He'll step on us, bro. He's stepping on Damon.
Okay, so when Obito fights Shibai, then Obito goes. I'll give someone else. Let's say Obito fights Ishiki, then Obito goes to hide in Kamui. Did Obito just win that fight?
Wait, what? I'm confused with it. Wait, what's the question?
Exactly.
No. Sorry, no. What did you say? No, they're being in a different dimension. Like, he's far ascended what they can even reach right now. If you're going in Buddhist terms.
Well, just number 1, I'm gonna vote on this poll. Okay, for Meat City. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2.
You said what about the poll on Meat City? I can't even see it because it won't let me unpin my tab.
Yeah, I gotta vote on that poll. Okay, gotta vote on that poll.
What's that? What's the ass ratio looking like on that one? On the yes or no?
I mean, last time I looked, it was yes.
Man, listen, y'all don't know what ass look like. Y'all 56% only on 9 people though. I don't know who on here. Y'all don't know.
Listen, I already know Udi voted. He just not gonna say so. Listen, one technique and ability is the same thing. Okay, I know what you're talking about. It's just the skill to do something. That's it.
No, because an ability is something that somebody can't really copy. Like, he has a reflection ability. Nobody's going to really copy that ability like 100%. A technique you can copy at 100%. Who's going to be able to like duplicate his ability? unless
Wait,
you get Amado who
so
does it and implants that into somebody.
so
They can mimic it
they're
possibly.
sorry. So just look up definition of ability, and in that definition is not what you just said. All you gotta do is look up the
Google's.
definitions and just compare them. Like they're practically the same thing. It's just like the skill to do something. But so that's number one. There's really no distinction between those. That's like kind of relevant. Look, Shibai does have all the abilities of Ada and Damon, right? And we know he can use omnipotence as a result of that because he has Ada's abilities. But he doesn't have her like deficiencies. So he's like almighty, all powerful. So he can literally use
Okay, so
omnipotence
technique
as
and ability, I'm just looked up both definitions and they're not the same. Ability, possession of the means or skill to do something. Technique, a way of carrying out a particular task, especially the execution or performance of an artistic work or a scientific procedure. So no, not the same thing.
So that's just a wordy way of saying the ability to do something.
You said the ability to do something. No, there's a way of carrying out a particular task. So you have to do it in a certain way.
Yeah.
So you put certain
like skill.
Yeah, you put certain parameters together and you create this technique. And ability is something else. That's something that you possess.
Yeah. So ability, talent, skill, or proficiency in a particular area. Right? Just look that up. Technique.
Possessions of the means or skill to do something. Oh, that's the like the layman's term for the definition I'm getting from Google.
Okay. Well, skill or ability in a particular field.
Oh, I see what you're looking at. Yeah, it says it right there for technique.
So a skillful or efficient way of doing or achieving something. Right. So you will go to the consistent definition. I mean, the way the first one that you read is just a wordy way of saying the skill to do something in a particular way.
Yeah, so say this is layman's term. Anyways, I ain't trying to debate about that. But what was you saying?
Yeah. So Shibai Otsutsuki has all of Ada's abilities, which means he can use omnipotence, but he has none of her deficiencies.
Right.
Which means he's almighty, all powerful. So he'll have the power to use omnipotence as described, the will to make anything real, that is omnipotence, period. So given that description and the lack of specificity in any real weaknesses, I think that dude is nasty. just based upon what we know he has. Just based upon what we know he has and based upon what we know he can do and the description of what he can do, just omnipotence alone, never mind like reflectability and all the other shenanigans, just like omnipotence, flight, all that stuff that other Otsutsuki have. This dude's a menace to society. So I think that alone gets him over Damon. And then obviously Damon would follow, in my opinion. So it'd be Shibai, Damon, Jura, Bug, Hirari, Mikari, so far.
Couple of contentions. Ada is omnipotent. Damon scales above Ada. Therefore, Damon scales above omnipotent. So if we're giving Shibai the strongest because of that, Damon just scales above anyways. Second of all, Shibai can only use omnipotence.
No, wait.
Assuming...
No, second.
Oh, okay.
You can't even get past the first one, bro. What do you mean Ada is omnipotent?
Well, she has and is omnipotent. Omnipotence is more than just an ability. She just is omnipotent. But we don't want to go down this route. Me and Con, we debate this all the time.
No, but omnipotent is an ability. Like they say it's an ability.
And she has omnipotence. She is omnipotent and she has it. It's two things.
She's not omnipotent because literally like built into the description of her Shinrugan's ability to like read events from the past is that she can't read events in the future. So she's not like yeah.
And is subjective. An omnipotent person can choose not to do something. In fact, an omnipotent person can choose not to be able to do something. It's paradoxical, but it's both.
Okay, well, from her perspective, she says she can't do a thing. And just by nature of her excluding something that she can't, by mentioning something she can't do, that just excludes her from that descriptor of omnipotent.
Yeah, she said for the last 3 years she's been trying and she still can't do it.
Yeah. She mentions what she can't do multiple times. So like the foundation of that is just kind of messed up.
She's limited. So you think if she's limited in her omnipotence, you think Damon is limited in his like reflection ability, blah blah blah?
Not necessarily. Unless you want to say like
maybe like what if Shibai can use it better? He don't need, like they said he has to touch somebody or something like that. Like what if his is like just automatic, always on?
so while Udi tries to find a out of that one, yeah. So when it comes to like Shibai, I think it's interesting that like theorize and like what if or what this that, but I think it's better for just if we want to just go quickly to go off what's stated. So he might be able to use reflection without touching someone, but that's never even like really mentioned.
Yeah, but
So I
then
don't
he
think
would
it's
have
like
had to have a
worthwhile.
partner or something like that to even garner that
Well, that's
ability.
operating under the assumption that that is like we're I hold on, let me take a step back. We know how like the reflectability has been described to function. So with Damon, there's no stated like deficiencies, but with Ada there is, which is basically like what she's made up of. Her genetic like disposition makes it so that her omnipotence or the casting of that ability is flawed, where he bridges like he fills that gap to where he doesn't have those stated deficiencies. So we know his like casting of omnipotence, which we know he has because Ada has it. She got it from him.
Yeah.
Would be like perfect. So that alone gets him to like the ability being perfect. And then as far as Damon's ability, there's no stated deficiencies or like weaknesses. There's just like conditions. So those conditions would apply to Shibai until otherwise, basically. Yeah. So it's like even if you want to say, well, like, well, he would have to touch somebody. That doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to be stated, and it is stated, so it is that type of thing. It may be hella like inconvenient, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's within the context surrounding the character, so even if they're talking generally about the character. So I don't think we can just apply it to Shibai. Damon might just be better with omnipotence than Shibai.
Is Damon using omnipotence?
He can.
Where's that stated?
Yeah. Where do you
He
get that
scales
from?
above omnipotence.
Wait. So hold on. So Jiraiya scales above part 1 Sasuke. Or no, Jiraiya scales above the Sasuke who fought in the Forest of Death. Sage
Why?
Jiraiya and Shippuden. Does he?
No.
Okay, why not?
Why not?
Hey, you want to play? I'm playing with. Come on, listen. Explain yourself. Give me a reason.
Okay. Jiraiya is faster than Sasuke.
Wait, so you're saying Jiraiya is stronger, right? Like as a
Yes.
combatant, superior combatant. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you disagree with that. Okay, cool. So I agree. I think Sage Mode Jiraiya is a superior combatant to like Forest of Death Sasuke. We agree. So you said the character superior. This is basically what you're implying. Like the character Damon is superior than Ada. That means he has omnipotence. So since Jiraiya is superior to Sasuke, that means he has Sharingan?
That's a Kekkei Genkai, so it's different.
No, but
hypothetically, if
omnipotence
Sasuke
is
is
casted
superior,
through her Kekkei
yeah.
Genkai, her bloodline trait, which is the Shinran.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like the Shinran symbol literally is spanning across the world when she uses it. And it's beware for those blue eyes shall eventually take everything from you. It's literally linking
Well,
the
Senrigan isn't blue, and I think that could just be coincidence. I don't think there's really any proof that there's a link between the Senrigan and omnipotence. I think that's
I
just data. So
you and I
hypothetically,
can wait,
I think
you
this
and
is
I can
actually really
agree that
interesting.
it's not
That's so
but
if
sure,
you
okay,
take
cut.
away eyes, if you take away Ada's eyes, can she use omnipotence? Hypothetically, if she like had control over it or whatever.
Probably not.
Interesting.
But I don't know.
Well, okay. Interesting. I
It,
think
it,
she could, but
it might be like a Susanoo thing where no eyes, you can still use it. Maybe. But I would say probably not, given like there's a lot of evidence that points to the eyes being the cause of that particular technique. And they are blue when it's used. They go from like teal
well,
to like blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're looking at the hexagonal numbers arguing there, but that's it's some objective thing. They would have to do some other time.
Sure. But yeah, so that was all I was saying. And maybe not like Sharingan, but like whatever ability Sharingan would produce, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
so do we disagree with this positioning so far, or you guys have like a so we can move
with
on?
the Shibai versus Damon thing, real quick on that, I will say, okay, so hypothetically, go in with your stance that
Uh-huh.
he just does have it and he's just as good as Damon or whatever. Then okay, we look at other aspects. Is he fast enough to get it off? If not, then it doesn't matter if Shibai does have omnipotence. Or does Damon just speed blitz him before he can get it off?
What?
Well, it's
This is
the
what he said
Dara
right
versus
here.
Lee.
Can I-
Go in with your stance that
Wait, can I ask you?
he
Can I ask
just
you?
does have it.
What? Sorry, what did you say for again?
No, I was playing what he was saying on my phone. He's like, what? I was like, well, this is what he said because I was making sure the stream was going good.
That. Okay, so why do you think Damon is so powerful?
He scales above omnipotence.
Why do I even ask you questions? Like, what the fuck? Like,
Well, because he's stronger than Shibai, as he
wait,
stated himself.
wait.
He's 3 spots above Shibai.
we already confirmed that Ada does not equal omnipotent or omnipotence.
We did not confirm that.
We did. We literally did. She states multiple times what she doesn't possess. This like
An omnipotent
divorces
character is
her
allowed
from like
to do
that
that.
descriptor. Hold on.
It doesn't have to make sense because omnipotence as a concept can be both.
Define
It can make sense
omnipotent.
and it can't make sense. Define omnipotence, the power to do anything.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to my AI. Sorry.
Well, it's outside of the laws of science.
So it says having unlimited power, able to do anything. So we already.
So it's not bound to the limitations of the universe.
Enough. Okay. My God. Man. Yo, we need Kamui here to keep you in check. Bro. That's crazy. We need Kamui here to cut you off. Okay, to cut you off when you start talking. Bro. That's crazy.
Because you know he's a god of that. That's wild. Anyways, all right, let's go into more on this tier list. Are we going to go to the main characters next?
I think you got somebody in the audience.
Oh, my boy FPK.
Well,
I mean, he didn't.
Okay, perfect
he
chance for you to keep pushing the Damon agenda.
I'm not even
Damon
paying
is
attention
Otsutsuki,
to
therefore omnipotence will.
Discord. My bad. What was you saying? Say that one more time. We got too many topics going on at once.
Damon is Otsutsuki. Damon's
Otsutsuki.
Wait.
Sorry. Let's keep in mind that we might want to edit this later. Okay. Can you repeat what you just said, Udi?
Yeah. So Damon is Otsutsuki, therefore omnipotence would not work on him.
Where is it stated that he's Otsutsuki?
Is he Otsutsuki?
Yeah, like
he's just a relative of Ada.
He has a Susuki ability.
He does.
No, well, like Ada's not an Otsutsuki though.
You've seen it not work on him.
Well, because that's her brother, and it says that it can't affect family members or Otsutsuki, so he fits in the definition of a family member. No.
He also fits in the definition of Otsutsuki.
No, I mean not really. Does Damon fly? Can he fly? Have you ever seen Damon fly? I think Ada flew.
I don't think we need to. Have we seen Boruto use the Kokugan?
What's that? But no, like
so there
because
are Otsutsuki specific abilities.
I'm just saying because the flying ability is Otsutsuki specific. Because Amuro is like he's gonna.
We know that Momoshiki and Ishiki can fly, therefore it makes sense that Boruto and Kawaki can fly. Was Kinshiki even able to fly?
Yeah, they was both hovering over the what's that shit called? Yeah, there you go.
That could have just been anime time to where it was like frozen in a moment of time.
Okay, so we got Shibai, Damon, Jura, Bug, Hirari, and Mitsuri. Let's move on, please. To let's do Boruto. Where are we putting Boruto?
Where even is Boruto on there?
He is the 6th one down, I think.
Yeah.
I'm putting Boruto in I'm putting him in God level behind Bug.
I'm putting him in between Jura and Hidari.
That's literally where I'm putting him.
Where are we putting them?
So in God level, you got
Mhm.
Jura, Bug, Base Boruto, Time Skip, Hidari, Mitsari.
Oh,
So
so
behind Bug.
you're putting Boruto behind Bug?
Yeah, he lost the Bug in a fair one.
I wouldn't really say he lost though.
What do you mean?
Like they didn't beat him. I mean, he did have to retreat, but he was outnumbered. Does that mean he really lost the Bug? He wasn't like Shika on Bug.
So
He was shook that it was more than what he can handle with all the Shinju.
So every time I say he lost the Bug, everyone always talks about when the other Shinju show up, but they fail to remember that Bug was the first one to show up.
He
and
was.
He actually fought, like, he jumped Boruto
Yeah, he
before
pressed
any
him.
of them ever revealed themselves.
Yeah, he pressed him, and then
So-
Boruto hit him with the lightning technique and fried his ass.
Nah, he ate that attack and then came back with another one. So what I'm saying is,
They should have
Bug
did that
initiated the
one-on-one a
fight.
little bit longer.
So what I'm saying is, Bug initiated the fight, and they had a back and forth. None of their attacks really affected one another. But given what happened, Boruto teleports back to the toad next to Code, and then rescinds Uzuhiko, and then immediately asks Code for help. And there was only one Shinju that was revealed up until that point. It was just Bug. So to me, if Boruto could just outright defeat Bug, then he would have done it. The fact that he asked for help implies that he needed it. I think he did it because he needed to. And it was just one Shinju there. So given that dynamic, given that back and forth, Bug had a way better showing than Boruto. And Boruto literally, to me, once you leave the engagement, teleport out of the immediate like area.
Yeah, that's fair.
Somewhat. And then start saying, "Yo, help me, bro."
Help me.
That 1v,
help me, please.
Yeah, like, that 1v1's done, bro. That 1v1's done, bro. So it's, to me, like, that's Bug being behind Boruto. And then he like clashes with Hidari, so I think they're like more or less relative. At least in that instance.
I do have a couple of contentions.
That's
so
fair.
the first one, I disagree that it's a fresh fight. I don't know about Bug, but he hasn't been in a fight as far as I'm aware up to this point, the Bug Shinju. And I'm assuming he was born at his full power rather than having to work up too hard. He had to try. He had
I don't know if it's a big one or
Wait,
small.
hold on. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, guys.
I can't measure the relevance of it.
I'm so sorry, guys. Just for recording, Udi, can you repeat what you said? I like tapped my microphone. I have a short in it, and it like messed up everything. So everything just went silent on my end.
You mean who? Me? Ooh,
both of y'all. You. It like cut out on you when you was speaking about Bug being at full power. I think that was the last thing you said.
Yeah. So I'll.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
You want me to go?
Well. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe that Bug was born with full power. He could have been born at 0% and worked his way up, or half power or something, but without statements, I'm just going to assume for now he was born at full power. It seems to be the way it is. It worked the same way with Kaguya as well as with Madara when he absorbed the 10 tails, seemingly. So going off of that, assuming Bug is at full power, it seems like Boruto is going into this fight with some degree of fatigue. He just got done fighting Code, which, he, regardless of how hard he had to try, he had to use some of his chakra, and he just got done fighting Bug. He did not go to Code immediately. He came to Code after fighting Bug for a little bit.
Yeah, and my position was that unless you're able to measure that fatigue that Boruto sustained or had, then I don't think it's relevant to even use. I think it's definitely like a negative, but I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like a big deal or a small deal. And because I don't know, I can't really work with that. You could say he used a lot. I can say I don't even know like I don't know what his like base chakra pool is. I don't know how much chakra goes into any given attack or any given movement or any given jutsu to even say a lot was given. When I take a look at him visually, there's no visual indications or illustrations of him being fatigued or tired, no scuff marks, no the typical stuff that you would associate with fatigue or exhaustion or anything like that. I literally don't have anything to work with that I can see or measure, so I'm not even sure if that's worth even bringing up.
I don't believe we need the exact measurements, though you can argue it's somewhere around
But he
Code's
didn't-
level of power.
You can say that
Oh, go ahead.
Boruto didn't really have any tough fights to really like use a lot of chakra. The thing that he was doing the most is really spamming the Flying Thunder God, unless the Uzuhiko used like a substantial amount of like chakra. And then his fight with Mitsuki, he wasn't really even doing nothing in that fight.
Well, he wasn't.
I don't think it-
Mitsuki was after this.
It
Mitsuki was
doesn't
after the
necess-
Shinju fight, or I thought it was before.
Yeah. No, it was
It
after.
doesn't necessarily matter how much struggle he has to put in, because as we know, Jigen dog walked Naruto and Sasuke. But Jigen started at more than 100% chakra, considering
But
he siphoned some from the Tin Tails.
but Jigen was actually trying though. Like he was using his abilities and stuff like that. Boruto barely did anything. Like really, like the only real big ability or technique that he uses was Uzuhiko. That's what I was saying. Like if you can say that he used a substantial amount of chakra or him spamming the Flying Thunder God, that was the only thing that he really used. Jigen was whooping ass. Jigen was shrinking shit and shrinking himself, and he was using a lot of chakra.
I'd
He's
argue
doing
the
high-speed
opposite, to
attacks.
where Jigen isn't taking this seriously. Jigen's laughing. In fact, the only reason he has to try is because of how much he's not trying. He has
What?
to try to make up for the fact that he's not
What?
trying. Whereas Boruto, he's taking it seriously from the get-go.
What?
Which makes his defeat to Bug even worse. Okay, because Bug's actually like
you understood
smiling.
that, Mello? You got to break that down to me because I didn't understand that. Him not trying, so he had to supplement for him not trying. So he had to try in order to
basically-
supplement for him not trying.
How you gonna say you didn't understand it, then reword it?
Because I didn't
mean,
understand
You don't have
it.
to you don't have to understand to
You
parrot.
reworded it.
You don't have to understand to parrot what you just said. But
Words.
so basically, number one, just because Udi said it the way he said it, which sounds very smart, doesn't mean it's true. That's number one.
Okay, yeah, so bring it down to
But
me.
I do understand what he was trying to say, even if he doesn't believe it himself. So basically, like, Jigen was holding back, but because he was holding back, it allowed Naruto and Sasuke an opening.
Mhm.
So because he was holding back and that opening was forced upon him or enacted upon him, then he went all out as a result. But it started with him holding back, which allowed that opening to open up to begin with. It's probably what he's trying to get to, but I don't you know.
I mean, I'll make a little bit more sense.
Yeah. So, again, I'm going to measure Boruto, again, based upon what I saw. And then also, I can't take unquantifiable levels of power or whatever you want to say that he doesn't have to bring to bear in his output or his stamina or durability. It was a pretty quick fight. And if he had to bring to bear levels of power to speed blitz or perception blitz or scale pass, Bug's durability, then he would have, given the context. I think that's pretty, yeah. So, given that that's the case, I'm just going to go based upon what I saw. And I can't go off of, like, immeasurable shit. I don't even know what to do with that. So, bro ran away from a fight, a fair 1v1. He couldn't, like, dodge or do anything like that except for teleport. And, like, bro had to, like, ask another dude to help him with Shinju at the time. Yeah. I got Bug over him, for sure.
You know, Mello, you said something to establish a ceiling. I'm going to establish a floor. You said, it doesn't matter how smart I sound, it's not necessarily true. I'm going to take the opposite stance and say, it doesn't matter how dumb what I say is, doesn't mean it's wrong.
I mean, that's also true.
You can say that, but it's still just you saying that doesn't prove your take correct.
Well, you say it doesn't prove my take wrong either.
I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Let's
so that's just my position. Does like anyone have like any contention?
Nah, let's get
Real
to
quick,
the
one more aspect of
Okay.
this is the fact that Boruto has knowledge of the darkest future. We don't necessarily know Boruto's knowledge, so his actions could be based on knowledge that we don't have. If Boruto's trying to hurry up to take down Bug, then it's possible he knows the other three Shinju are on the way. Therefore, he would try to take down Bug in the most effective, quickest manner possible. Not that he couldn't do it, but that he would use as much help as possible.
That doesn't help your argument. It helps mine because the quickest way imaginable in this instance, given what you just said in the context in the series, would be for him, if he is strong enough, to just perception blitz and knock this dude out. Like he would just take him out himself. That would be the most optimal move to do. And then also we can't measure what hasn't been disseminated to us about a future that he knows about potentially. That's again invoking something that's immeasurable.
I think he knew something was going to happen, but he didn't know exactly what it was going to be.
Yeah, I think it's for theory crafting that works perfectly fine to use like I believe or I think. But if you're trying to like scale the character, that's probably not the best thing to do. Just what is as much as you possibly can. So
right. Let's get to the next one though, because I'm gonna have to leave in a little bit, but I want to keep the stream going, so I want to get as much as we can on here. All right.
Kawaki.
Okay, yeah, fodder.
This would be an interesting one.
No, we cannot continue sleeping on Kawaki. He is stronger than people say. I think he fights better against Jura than what we saw. I think what we saw was just like a 1 in 10 scenario to where he just happened to get bodied unluckily.
Sorry, I was reading a head-ass comment in my comment section.
You thought that was
head-ass
a 1 in 10 scenario. What?
Sorry, who's that? That's not like a drunk. Who's
that? I'm not paying attention to Discord. Hold on. Hey, yo, it sound like FPK. Oh, that's FPK.
Boy.
Let me turn you up. Well, we got the Henny Lord. Bro, it's good, bro.
Yeah.
What up,
Big Bug in the house. Yeah, I know who it is. French Bulldog Killer. Live.
Yo, you need to look at your messages, bro.
Wait, time and place. Listen.
You heard me?
FBK, what do you think about this tier list?
I can't even see it.
Look on the cloud. Go on or MELLO stream.
Y'all doing some behind the scenes stuff, but
no, I was just telling them look at the list. Yeah, look at
but definitely not the walkie-talkie stream, right?
Or the walkie-talkie stream.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like on the last topic, I don't agree with MELLO on like the Bug being overboard.
Hit me up.
I don't.
Hit me up.
It ain't really hit you up. Like I feel like.
Wait. Why did Free Game say ooh?
I didn't say anything.
Bug didn't really get the best of them.
Bug
didn't really get the best of them. I felt like Boruto understood at that point he was outnumbered and it was best to retreat. Even if he could have defeated Bug at that moment, he probably would have got hit from another angle due to the Rinnegan being used and it being 5-on-4.
But MELLO stated though, like his argument was like that, that he didn't even know that there were more of them. It was only he only knew about Bug at that time period, so that's why that doesn't count. And I kind of agree with that because he didn't know that there was, they had more Shinju. The only one that came at him was Bug.
Yeah,
I mean he didn't.
And then also
he saw all of them, though, right?
He didn't what? Say that one more time.
He said he didn't retreat until he saw all of them. My point is that he left the fight, teleported to the Toad, and then started asking Code for help versus the one Shinju that had presented himself. Like he left battle to go ask for help. Like he didn't teleport and then like jump right back into battle. Bro left battle, got Code good, and then asked him for help against the one Shinju that had revealed himself. That's A. And then B, you're talking about Rinnegan abilities that haven't been established for this particular Rinnegan. So I wouldn't even factor that in.
Do you think Boruto has foresight?
Foresight? Like, what do you mean? Like future sight, like an ability, or just like any other person? I don't know if he has that. There hasn't been a future sight hasn't been established as in combat.
If you think he has foresight, then he foresaw these people. I mean, you're saying it
So-
ain't been established, but it kind of has.
So 2 things. So future sight hasn't been established in combat, but it has been established out of combat. So I'm not sure if he can use it in combat. And then number 2, even if he can use it, we know based upon how particular the Byakugan Momoshikis, there are things you can't see. So by nature of its description, you can't start saying what he could see, because he could possibly not see it if you can even get him to using it in combat to begin with, which you can't.
You're right, but the very nature of that is you're guessing at what he can and cannot see. You don't know. He may have saw that it was 4 to begin with, and maybe many more. He might have saw different paths of the future. But I get it. It's a what if kind of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only person that's saying what could have happened is you. I'm telling you what did happen. So you're doing the what if. I'm not doing the what if.
I just don't see it as he at that moment he would have lost the bug if he was truly trying. I don't feel like he was trying at that time. I feel like his mission was going for the 10 tails until he figured out what was going on. Or you never know how we're gonna look back at that situation.
Well, if we got any information in the
And I
future
don't think
that contradicts my perspective, then I'll look at it then. But just right now, I don't think that information exists.
and I want to have that conversation then too, Mello.
If it happens, sure.
Speculation based off
But
of
yeah,
what we know, but it's still
On to the
speculation.
next character. Well, who was the next character? Y'all said Kawaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could put
Yeah.
Kawaki down at the bottom of the list. He like
That's what I
he
said.
down there with like
Crazy.
You
Bro, I
down there
would
with
put Kawaki
Enojin,
in
you
high
said?
tier.
Wait, hold up. He said he down there with Enojin now? Is that what he just said?
But that's crazy.
Yeah,
Is that what you said, bro?
yeah, Donut Boy.
It's a donut boy. That's wild.
Yeah. He down there with Donut
Next
Boy.
chapter is going to prove you wrong when base Kawaki is giving Jura a run for his money. I'm telling you. You go see next chapter.
The best
Come
thing
20 days from
Kawaki
now.
could do is show up and start shrinking claw marks.
And he's going to.
That's the
Just
best
like he did
thing
against
Kawaki
Code.
He gonna shrink his hair? That's crazy, bro. That's wild.
Think about that.
My
This is-
toupee. What have you done to my toupee?
Yo, I think we've asked this. Okay, this is a slight derailment. Can Jura go through the claw marks on himself? How would that even work physically? That's like the Ouroboros.
I think that's how they
think
said he
can.
got his hair.
I think yeah. I think their body's connected, just like the one on Cole's head is connected to him. He can go through it and pull things in and out of it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Such a weird ability, bro.
So
But
no,
yeah,
seriously,
where
where we
in
really
Kawaki?
putting Kawaki? Yeah, I was about to say that.
I'm putting him in demigod for now.
Yeah, I would agree with that because he's definitely below Boruto
Kawaki.
for sure. As long as he's below Boruto, I'm cool with that. But why you got Kawashiki here too? All right, that's cool. So we're going a few time skip Kawaki, I'm assuming, right?
I think you're breaking up. I'm gonna put
This is
We're going with time skip Kawaki, correct?
This right now,
not
TBV.
regular Kawaki.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to do like 2 blue vortex more so.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put Sarada at the behind Mitsuri at the end of God level, and I'm putting Himawari above Sarada in God level. Contention.
Wait. Say that one more time. I was not paying attention. I'm sorry.
I have Himawari and Sarada in God level at the very end, with Himawari above Sarada.
I'll take that because she was more impressive against Jura than Sarada and Hidari. So I would agree with that. Where is Himawari though? Yeah. All right. Bet. What we got next?
Himawari's fight could have happened off screen, so we literally have no idea how much stamina we have. It could have been like 99% of the fight was off screen or 0% of it was, because it cut away and then cut back to it. I have no idea how much time passed between those moments or what happened in between. Based on what we've seen, she's able to do 1 tailed beast bomb and 2 punches. And then she's just drained. She can heal as well. I'll give her that as well. But that's the extent of her tail beast mode. Not much.
Yeah, I think Jura's just so much more powerful than her when he's not like holding back. that he just like pushes her to that level. Like a few punches knocks her out, pretty much, or a few techniques knock her out, pretty much. But for me, it's mostly the fact that um, I think she scales past his durability when she punches him away, like sends him flying through all the boulders and whatnot. And then she's also able to clash to a stalemate with the tail beast bombs. I think that's enough. And then also like her durability can like take his hits, even if she's still like fucked up from them. She's not dying from them or anything like that. And then he says like, you make me want to go out, like show my power a little bit.
Yeah, go all out.
Which is obviously something Kawaki couldn't bring to bear, which I think pretty much gets her. Yeah, I think clears her over Kawaki easily.
For
and
sure.
then like Sakura, Sarada giving her feats against Hirari, and if I have Hirari somewhat relative to Boruto, then I think that's fair. Mitsuri, I don't have a lot to work with, but she did ensnare Boruto, who's pretty high on this list, a lot. But I think it's safe to just have the Shinju just for now, kind of like in the same like little area.
For sure.
Relative to each other.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I just haven't seen that much from Kawaki versus anyone relevant. The best person he fought was probably Jura, given this list so far, and then he just got washed, even with Karma. And I don't even care about what Boruto did because Kawaki was in base, so that doesn't matter to me. But yeah, so I think that's probably why I have like Sarada and Himawari just right now, given their feats against like superior combatants.
Yeah.
Over Kawaki, and then Himawari, she fought a superior Shinju in my opinion so far. And also, I don't think, even if they were like relative, Sarada and Himawari, I think Himawari has more like destructive capability than Sarada.
No, I agree.
To a certain degree.
Yeah,
But
sorry they got that mean ass punch though. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Interesting one though. What about Fuse Momoshiki? Where would you put Fuse Momoshiki on this list? I know we was going to TBV, but I mean, Momoshiki still in TBV.
Bro doesn't exist in the whole series. He's been name dropped once, and I think chapter 1.
I mean, still, he's a part of Boruto, bro. So he still exists. He's in TBV. You just haven't. Just because you ain't seen him yet doesn't mean he ain't there.
Wait, so maybe because we're on limited time. Maybe because we're on limited time. Maybe we kind of like just focus on some of the more main ones from TBV.
All right.
Because I feel like it's a whole thing with him. Like it's a lot.
Do y'all feel like Himawari would have fared better though if she didn't have to if she didn't have to heal energy and herself so much, and if she had like more experience with Kurama?
More experience with Kurama, yes.
I think more experience would have yielded more power because he talks about like her potential.
Yeah.
So that's what that would be. But healing, no, I don't think healing really. I think the healing is probably the thing that was keeping her in long enough to even. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. But what about time skip code? How about we move there?
You gonna throw him on low tier?
Nah.
I know. Seriously, I put him. Yeah, go ahead. I was about to say behind Kawaki, but what was you gonna say?
I put him behind Boruto.
Behind Boruto?
I think me and Mello are on the same page here. If we're looking at purely power, Code does have the power. He just doesn't have the ability to fully execute on that power efficiently.
Did what's his name? Man, I'm blanking out right here. Help me out. Did Miski say that? Because I think Miski made a statement about that too, and he said that Kawaki wasn't stronger than Code. Wasn't that? Did he say that? So he couldn't beat Boruto.
Yeah, he said Boruto is like out of like Code's like I guess level or off the charts or whatever. His power's off the charts. He's stronger than Code. So like so basically Kawaki is weaker than Code per Mitsuki's assessment.
Right.
For whatever that's worth.
Plus the fact that Boruto's asking for Code's help against Bug tells us that Code would be relevant in the fight against Bug.
Yeah, but I always say, even given their fight, there's so much context around it. Like he doesn't like perception blitz Code at any point really. He dodges like one attack and he's like able to react to Code's movements pre White Karma seal activated. And then after that, it's like no matter what you think, if you think it's Uzuhiko, or what I think, which is Flying Thunder God, which is why Code can't hit him, is a jutsu. You can argue like the activation of it, if it's like Flying Thunder God, like he got his activation off before Code's movement, or you can argue, well, it's already like in play, like the effects are already occurring from Uhiko, if that's what you think. But no matter what, like he's using a jutsu to like dominate the fight, and then also Code's like in real time trying to analyze what's happening, and then like as he's doing that, Boruto, which I think is Flying Thunder God, but just appears behind him and then tags him with the little power, and then once he gets hit by Uzahiko, Boruto's actually shocked and surprised that he's still standing. And then, because this is how you know Boruto was making claims without all the information. Because he was claiming, I can defeat you easily. But when it came time for him to hit him with that technique, he was surprised. So clearly, like, there's elements brought to bear that he didn't take into consideration. Like, he just didn't know how powerful Cole really was, clearly. So I think, and then given the fact that he was still able to,
could you say that Boruto wasn't going all out on Code either, though?
That type of stuff is really difficult to measure. I would even argue just conceptual. I mean, taking the context into consideration, he's on a time limit, so he needs to like remove the thing that's causing Code to oppose him, which would be his belief that he's stronger. So it's more effective for Boruto to dominate him and show him that he's not stronger as quickly as possible. So I think he would, in that term or in that way, do everything he can to dominate Code as quickly as possible, so that Code's left with no other options but capitulation. But what I was saying was, given the fact that Code is even able to still do maneuvers on Kawaki while still being quote unquote dizzy, and then also when he gets to the when the Uzahiko's rescinded, there's like no, go back and watch or read it. There's no visual indications of any fatigue damage, no scratches, no nothing. He's not even holding his chest anymore. And then he's also dodging attacks from Hirari, and then Boruto's asking him for help against like this tier of opponent. Yeah, I think he's relative to Boruto. I think if they fought again, I think it's a high diff fight for Boruto currently, given what we saw. He just had a lot of context, and Code was very stupid with his assumptions, and he just fucked himself. But I think Code is very powerful, even though I can't fucking stand this character.
Okay.
But, yeah.
What about Sage Mode?
I do agree that I think Code is an idiot.
Yeah.
I think he's arrogant as fuck, which can lead to some idiocy.
Oh, this is
for sure.
Time skip Code. Why do I have him here?
We'll just use it as post time skip. That's fine.
Where do you guys think Shikamaru skills? Hokage.
Man, that's a hard one to scale. I'll let y'all go with that one.
Shikamaru isn't Hokage.
Interim. Okay.
If we judging on power, mid tier.
Mid tier?
Mid tier?
Why mid tier?
He dodged Delta's kick and he tanked limited Code's swipe with no
I'm putting
damage.
him in demigod.
Man,
honestly,
when we
I'll put him in
like
demigod.
Going up against like Osuski and Code levels and stuff like that, and
I'll put him at high tier.
Well, like
just Kawaki right now. Just time skip Kawaki as demigod right now.
I'll put him in high tier for the sake of the list.
I'll
but I
put him in high tier. I ain't gonna disrespect.
I think him dodging the kick from Delta, him tanking the swipe from limited Code, and then also him holding Kinshiki while he's like bloodlusted trying to kill Sasuke. Even though you can't really tell, like, it's not really a speed feat because you can't tell when he activated the shadow paralysis relative to Kinshiki's movement because it's off panel. But the fact that he's even able to hold him for a period of time, like, is fucking insane.
I have to be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and this is like pre-time skip shit. So, I think that's some. I mean, that's some god. Like, he's going up against gods. Like, Delta's like god level. I think demigod's a good place for him. But if you want to have him in high tier, I'm fine with that. It's cool.
Exactly. I completely agree. I think, to be fair, on Kinshiki's part, I think he's very powerful. Like you said, he's a god. And Shikamaru, just because he put him under paralysis for any amount of time, that doesn't scale him up to Kinshiki. I think Kinshiki would easily wipe the floor with Shikamaru. I think, even if you want to say Kinshiki's going all out, I don't think he's going all out. I think he's trying. But I think Shikamaru is going all out. And the fact he isn't able to hold it, he's able to hold it for a little bit, but not fully. We see the tensile strength when the shadow paralysis breaks. which shows how hard he's struggling to maintain it. And I think to some extent, the abilities scale above the characters as well. So I don't think it's more so similar to Ino putting Obito under what is it? Mind transfer jutsu, and Obito is able to pretty much immediately break out. I don't think it's impressive that they're able to be put under the jutsu. I think really it determines how long they're under it, which is the impressive part, because I think anyone can be put under it. It's just about how effective it is when they're put under it.
Yeah. Well, I also take into consideration one Momoshiki was being held as well.
Yeah.
And then also Momoshiki, and they never broke out of his shadow paralysis. They had to absorb it, or he had to absorb it with his Rinnegan. Or at least he did. I don't know if he had to, but he did.
Yeah.
So I think all of that is pretty damn impressive, to be honest, to at least put him in demigod. But if you guys, want to have him
No,
in
I
high
agree. I
tier,
was just playing devil's advocate. I agree with your stance.
okay, bet,
I
bet.
just find Shikamaru to be more of a support type, and he needs a team in order to do what he needs to do out there.
But there's a thing. He's supporting gods. He's supporting Naruto. So, yeah, he's a demigod. Makes sense.
I mean,
I mean, in order
yeah,
to support a god, you sort of have to be a demigod.
What do you think makes Ada stronger
I
than
mean,
Jigen?
not really. If you're high tier with an special like IQ, then like that's enough to make up for you not having the necessary power. And Shikamaru is already, we know he's smart as far as like tech.
But you'll notice, as in the examples at least I gave, I haven't mentioned his intelligence. I'm mentioning like his speed to dodge, Delta strike, his durability to tank a swipe from limited code, who has no incentive to keep him alive, with no damage at all. Like his ability to hold Ada, his ability to hold Shiki and Momo at the same time for a period of time. That's why I said there's no tactics involved with those particular feats. And then when I said what makes you think Ada is what about Ada makes her stronger than Jigen or more powerful than Jigen? Because her abilities don't work on him. So she's not swaying him with charm. I mean, she can look in the past, I suppose, but I'm not sure how that gets you more powerful. And she is stated as a cyborg that's more powerful than him.
I have an answer, but I think
Okay.
for you, it's gonna be the most infuriating answer I could give, but it's my
Are you
actual answer.
gonna mention someone whose name starts with a K?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna.
Thank God. My God, man.
All right. I hope you're sitting down on this one. So I was gonna say that I think Ada's combat speed scales above Jigen's movement speed.
Mm. How so?
I'm not basing that on anything. It's just the only thing that would make sense if we're taking abilities out of it. That's the only way to beat him at that point.
Okay.
It could be Ada's secret ability that she hinted at earlier on in the code arc, that at least she and Damon might have. That might not be a Shinjutsu that maybe she can use on Jigen, but until we get any more information at all on that, we just have no idea. So for now, we're going based off of speed or power, which would make sense considering what she did against Delta. How she just casually, not blocked, but deflected, or would have deflected the kick.
Would she have? I guess the only way to kind of
She was
measure
brushing it
that,
off.
it's been so long. I think maybe if she got her arm up before kick even got to position to hit, could
She did,
speak
yeah.
to. Okay, because that's interesting. But my point is, I think Ada is actually stronger than Jigen in terms of her power, even if she's not, even if she's a non-combatant, because otherwise her abilities don't even really get her over him. To be honest, he's unaffected by
Yeah.
omnipotence on a large scale, in a smaller scale with charm. Her looking in the past is not relevant. I'm not entirely sure. It has to be stats or something like that. So if that's the case, then he's able to hold her as well in shadow paralysis. So maybe I think Shikamaru's firmly, and then you tag on his intelligence. I think he's firmly a demigod in my in my opinion. But we can leave him in high tier. It's fine. Who else? I would prefer to stay away from Ada and Boro. because they're kind of complicated.
I mean, we
it's
just
up
talked about it. I just put her on there anyways. I put her in God level.
Oh, would you put? Oh, you put in God.
Well, but that's just based
Okay.
on like removing omnipotence. If we're counting the fact that she is omnipotent, I think she's the fellow strongest with Shibai, and then Damon scales above the strongest. So it just makes sense.
I think the fact that we know she's pretty much a non-combat type, I had to push it down a high tier.
Well, it's not that she's non-combat. It's she's good at fighting. She just doesn't want to.
How you
She
know
doesn't
that?
like fighting because it's
How you know
dirty.
she good at fight?
She has high vanity. She thinks highly of her appearance and prosperity. I guess I would use that word. I'm trying to think of more fancy smancy words to apply to her. But she just doesn't like the whole rough rootin' and tootin' rowdy kind of environment. If that makes sense.
Bro, that
Very
don't make no
feminine
sense, bro.
character.
Nah,
That's
bro, I
crazy.
can't
He just
even
doesn't
bite
like
on that.
fighting. What can I say?
Wait, where'd you put
Ain't
Shikamaru?
no proof.
Udi, where'd you put
High
Shika?
tier.
Who? I put him in
Okay,
demigod.
you put him in demigod. Okay, well, we need a consensus. Um, so I'll say Demi, you say Demi. FBK says high tier.
I said high tier, yeah.
Free game says high tier. So it's like a.
He
So
borderline. Y'all go ahead and put him demigod. Go ahead and put him
I
demigod.
just feel like he has feats against like actual god tiers, like Delta, Ada, Kinshiki, Momoshiki, like Code.
I get it, but even in those feats, it wasn't defeat that he got. It was just a shadow paralysis.
No,
Exactly. No.
that's
It
not
didn't kill
true
them.
though.
It didn't necessarily damage them at all.
No, but what I'm saying is like his ability to hold them, like there's something there in measuring like his power level. I'm not sure how to like use the wording, but like there's something there. Like I mean, maybe his I'm not. Maybe I have to like spend a little bit more time with it. But
Okay, what
just the
about
fact that
this?
yeah.
So I think I have a way to explain this to you because, like I said earlier, I think Shikamaru's shadow paralysis would scale above his own strength. So hypothetically, Shikamaru makes a shadow clone and puts his shadow clone under shadow paralysis. I don't think his shadow clone could break out of it.
I think maybe if you take into consideration the properties of the shadow itself, like through like shape transformation or nature, well, I think he's like what yin release. That's the darkness, right? The dark.
I mix those two up all the time. Don't
Yeah,
take my advice on
yeah.
that.
I don't remember. So I think maybe if you take into consideration like the properties, like I know like jutsu are supposed to scale beyond like the initial, just as a byproduct like shape transformation, nature transformation, if that's the case. So maybe in that case, it would scale higher than his like normal chakra that he can bring to bear to boost his physical stats or something. But I don't have enough information about the technique itself. But I would imagine, I mean, number one, it's chakra, right? So it would have to be some kind of shape transformation, and it is like a yin or yang, whatever, which one. So I would imagine it's like nature transformation as well. And through that process, it's going to enhance it beyond the norm, which would be like his normal chakra and how he would apply it to his physical stats, I would imagine. So I would say it's probably stronger than his normal self. Like
Yeah.
like if he
I'd go even
held
further.
Kinshiki with like in a bear hug, I think he's gonna hold him.
Yeah, I was gonna make that comparison.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that he's molding the chakra. I think molded chakra, they're molding it for a reason. I think it is just in some way stronger than raw chakra. And so I think because of that, it would just scale him above in that regard as well.
What just out of curiosity, like the word molding in this context, what does that mean? I
Shape
never thought about it.
transformation, he's turning it into shadow style. What that really means, he's turning it a yin style. So I guess all nature transformations I think the nature transformation is an additive property. So let's just say raw chakra. If he just shot a raw chakra shadow paralysis at Kinshiki, it'd be like a 10. But if he shoots it in yin style, the shadow paralysis as we know it, it's like 10 plus like 5. hypothetically. Instead of 15, it's 10 plus 5. So it's not combining the two, it is adding. It's like adding on top of it, if that makes any sense.
Um, but no, the reason why I ask, because like mold, like just the word itself in this context is kind of like obvious, but like I think I've heard them use it pre-activation. Like, oh, I'm molding chakra for this particular jutsu, or I've molded enough, and then they go on to do the jutsu. It's like post or like the present representation of what the molded chakra was meant to accomplish or do or whatever, however we want to term it.
So
But I'm
I
going off of
so
memory, to be fair. I might just be fucking up. But
yeah. So when I say this, I'm going to expand on this. We know that Shinobi can use hand signs to mold chakra, but I don't think it is the hand signs molding chakra. I think molding chakra is an internal thing, like in their stomach or heart or something, or even in the gates, if we want to use that lore. And I think hand signs is just their way of doing it more efficiently or effectively. So this is how you get to jutsus being performed with one hand sign or with no hand signs. They are still molding the chakra. The hand signs just help them do it. So it's not like they're molding the chakra in their hands. I think they're still molding it in their spirit energy, wherever that is. It could be the heart. I was talking with Kami about this. I think the soul in Naruto was retconned into being in the heart. Because when we see Reaper Death Seal, whenever Minato or Hiruzen used it against Orochimaru or Ninetales or whatever, seems like it's throughout the entire body. It just like takes the shape of the human body and it's like blue or whatever. But it seems like in the War Arc, or especially my one instance, I'm going to point out Sasori. I think Sasori couldn't remove his heart, not because it's pumping blood or whatever. I think it's because if he removed his heart, he would be removing his soul. Thus, he wouldn't have a body with a soul in it, and his
you
soul
know
would go
what?
to the Pure Lands or whatever.
I actually think it's interesting given Kakazu and how he can get like,
Mm,
different elements from other people by taking their hearts. I
I
don't
like
know.
that. I'm going
So you
with it.
think he
Yeah.
kind of like collected multiple souls?
Maybe in a sense.
So if this is a case, I don't think, based on everything we've seen, there's anything special about the nature affinity within the heart. It seems to be something determined at birth, but that's a different thing. I don't think it's like a Kekkei Genkai or blood clan limit, anything like that. I think it might just be with the soul itself, especially considering you can do physical, spiritual training to get stronger. In doing so, you might be able to unlock more nature affinity or be able
I,
to use more, not that you gain the strength of it. Like
I,
Naruto's
I
still weak at
mhm.
Earth, but he can now use it. I think it's because of his training.
I think to that last part, yes, but because like clans have specialities, and I think that's for a reason. Because like on a biological level, they clearly have some kind of like the Sarutobi are clearly have like a disposition for fire style. Like they all just use it. So it's interesting. Like even like Toby Ramba and Hashirama, like wood style is what is it? Earth and water. But he like Hashirama can still use water style, and we already know Tobirama's like really efficient at that. He just can't really. He doesn't have like the ability, the disposition to fuse them together to create wood style. But he can still use like really prodigious water style. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying this is a fact. I'm theorizing. I wouldn't be surprised if their father was a really good water style user, and like the Shinju are like really good at water style. I wouldn't even be surprised if that's the case. But like even the Uchiha like have a speciality, and I think that can only be a thing if they all have a disposition for a certain element, which was like the fireball, the great fireball jutsu or some shit. So I think genetics plays some kind of role there, but there seems to be like this interesting like dance between like the spirit and like the physical form, even like for people out of the dead or whatever the case may be. Um, so all that's kind of interesting. But sorry, what did you have Ada on this list? Because I think the fact that they keep hinting at Sarada being able to kill her
That's
kind of
it.
makes more sense.
I
But
don't
I
think they're
said I had
hinting
to.
at that. And I think realistically, anyone can kill anyone else in Naruto as long as they're off guard. In the same way, like in the Resurrection F movie in Dragon Ball, that one Frieza soldier was able to shoot Goku when he's off guard. So I think you even see this in flashbacks. To be fair, this is filler, but I forget his name, but Konohamaru's friend that died against Ao,
You get the
Mujino.
glasses.
Yeah, I think it's Mujino.
Trash. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
him.
he's able to stab Hiruzen, and to be fair, Hiruzen wanted him to be stabbed, but I think you get the point to where he has a kunai. Kunai can work on him.
Yeah, so wait. So number one, Gara, but I get your point. That's a different context.
The sand shield, yeah.
Yeah.
This also gets into, I think, just naturally. Have you seen Hunter x Hunter, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. I think in the same way in Hunter x Hunter, they're able to fortify their body with nin. I think Shinobi just might passively or maybe consciously do this with like invisible chakra or a very thin layer. And that's how you get durability things that wouldn't make sense. Because otherwise, how are Shinobi able to like be stabbed with kunai when they're flying through craters and just making holes in rocks with their bare skin without any scratches or anything?
I think you
I
would
definitely agree with
apply.
that. I think you
Yeah.
can. I think they can. Pretty much. You sound like they send their chakra to certain parts of their body, or like kind of stack it up at certain parts to tank a hit or something like that, right?
So I think it is like a taijutsu based, not ability, but like technique. Well, it's the same thing based on what Melo was saying earlier, but you know what I mean.
No,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think you would take into consideration the wielder of the shuriken. So like if they're getting stabbed, I'm sure like the person who's striking at them or throwing the thing at them is bringing to bear their own chakra. So then it can scale.
Yes.
But I would imagine if like Joe Blow, right? Shout out to Joe Blow, um, ran up with no chakra and just stabbed them, then it would probably just like not even work if they're on
Yeah.
guard with their like chakra, or if you're what you're saying, they have some kind of passive um application of chakra to boost their stats to a degree.
I completely
It,
agree in a serious sense. If they have some anime filler where they're just walking through Konoha and like a bank robber stabs someone in the back, would imagine they would bleed from that just based on like the plot demanding it or whatever. But like outside of that, and like a serious perspective to where it's like an important narrative part of the arc, if they're trying to pull that, that's just not going to work. It really depends on the context of the writers, I think.
that's why I always joke that Ishiki's shuriken level,
Yeah.
but I mean, bro was ducking shuriken. You know what I mean? So
The thing, okay, Ishiki and the Shinju and Madara and Obito when they absorb the Tentels are different because their skin literally changes. Like it's literally physically different. I don't know if it's something else, but it's I don't know. It just might be.
I
At
don't
least
know,
in the
bro.
Shinju's case, I think it literally is just something else. I don't think they have skin. I think it is just wood.
I mean, Momoshiki, obviously a different being than the Shinju, but bro was getting packed, like he was getting cut up by them shuriken, them Demon One shuriken from Sasuke. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we know Otsutsuki are susceptible to like that level of application. I mean, God forbid you infuse some chakra into it. But I have Ada at the end of God level. Where do you have her?
Yeah, so for your tier list, yeah, God level. For me, I have her tied with Shibai as fellow
Okay.
strongest. Yeah,
I got a
Okay.
high tier.
Damon skills above the strongest.
Okay. High tier for FBK. Fair, fair. All right.
Oh, one more thing I want to say on the whole kunai thing. Sorry if you want to get to the tier list, but
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
I think the instance with Donzo trying to use the kunai against Sasuke Susanoo is interesting. So
Mhm.
with this, I do think generally, and again, this is with invisible chakra. I think whenever shinobi use weapons, they also imbue chakra into that weapon to increase the durability of that weapon. Because otherwise, when you get instances with like Sasuke trying to stab someone with the sword would just shatter on impact, no matter who he's fighting against. Just like the kunai. I think in the kunai example, Donzo just wasn't doing that because he wasn't expecting the Susanoo to be strong, or he was expecting Sasuke to be off guard or whatever. But I think
Mhm.
in all other instances, it's the only thing that could make sense.
I
It
don't
also makes
know.
sense for like the cutting power, considering Sasuke runs lightning style through his sword. In that case, he's molding the chakra. In this case, normally it just be raw chakra, unmolded chakra that just runs through the sword,
I
quote
feel like my
unquote.
only, uh, my only problem with that is that they made such a big deal about what Sasuke was doing, running lightning through his blade, that they never even once mentioned any lesser version of that or variation. I think that would have been something that they would have spoken about if it was a thing. But I kind of understand what you mean by like, yeah, like that. The sword, like it's not been stated that it's made of some kind of special metal or whatever. Like the was it the Kusanagi blade? So yeah, so like, and even that, I don't even know if that would like hold up against like I don't know, top tier Otsutsuki or whatever. But yeah, so like for all intents and purposes, Sasuke Boruto's blade should just be like a normal blade, as far as we know. So yeah, and maybe it should like break or shatter or whatever. It's difficult to say. But I feel like Sasuke when he like when he swipes down at like base Momo's neck before he like fuses or becomes fused Momo, I think he did that expecting it to work. And maybe his intent itself can speak to like I don't know, some kind of scaling or whatever. Like the fact that he even thought that would work, yeah. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, like I don't think Sasuke is like a reliable person to take into consideration when it comes to like where he scales relative to Otsutsuki in particular.
Yeah.
Um,
Does that moment
yeah.
happen in the manga? Do you know? Well, I guess it doesn't matter considering it's Ikimoto copying it in the first place, so it's not even the source material. But
I
I
think
think
it
that
does
moment
happen in the manga.
that moment's weird and is arguably a retcon. Because, I mean, first of all, why wouldn't Sasuke just use lightning style to imbue it into the sword in that moment, anyways? But he could have been using normal, raw, invisible chakra if it's easier, or just if he thinks it's going to work, or he could be using nothing. In that case, the sword might break, but if he's only putting enough power that he thinks would cut off Momoshiki's neck, then I guess the sword wouldn't break. Then you have the instance where he tries to stab Jigen in the neck, and again, he thinks it's going to work, and Jigen seemingly also thinks it's going to work because he puts the rods there to block the hit, and he seems to think it would have just taken his neck off. So why would it have worked against Jigen but not Momoshiki? The only thing I can think of would be outside of Otsutsuki having skin that isn't skin, like I was saying earlier, which is evidence towards that. I think it's because he's eating the chakra fruit. You could argue it's the chakra fruit itself, or maybe it's the intense burst of power from the power up rather than the power that he has naturally. Because I think he could take off fused Momoshiki's head, as funny as it is, but he can't take off Momoshiki's head as he's turning into fused Momoshiki.
Yeah.
Hey, who we
So,
ranking Sasuke?
are we doing Sasuke right now?
We might as well. We're talking about him.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Fuck. It was something that you just. Oh, yeah. He used lightning release or his lightning in his blade versus Jigen. That would be the difference. Whereas versus base Momo in transit, he was not using lightning release. So, yeah. Um. So how I would do this is like one-eyed Sasuke would be Sasuke who trained with Boruto for 1 year. The one who like damaged code. That's how I kind of envision this version of Sasuke.
I got Sasuke demigod.
Um, I'm just gonna say my stance on this, and we're gonna move on. I refuse to elaborate. So I have One Eye Sasuke at the top of Demigod, and I have Prime Sasuke at the bottom of Demigod.
I don't know if I would put Prime and Demi. Well, no, I think I would have to because I have Shikamaru and Demi. But yeah,
Yeah,
I,
the
I think
problem is that
yeah. Wait. I thought you
levels
weren't going to
increase
elaborate.
over time.
I thought you weren't
Well,
going to
no,
elaborate.
no, not on that, just on the level system in general. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
at what point do you consider Kakashi Kage level? Well, that's difficult to answer because Kage level changes throughout the series. At the start of the series,
I can tell you.
Jonin level destroys anyone in the Konoha 12. But when you get to the War Arc, Jonin level is fodder. The tiers move in what they mean, but then also the tiers themselves are also fluid in what that power level represents. A Jonin from Part 1 Naruto isn't nearly as strong as one from Shippuden or Boruto.
It's weird, but I think for me, it was like, hey, he's going up against Kakuzu and Hidan solo, like 1v2 for a period. That's some Kage shit, but like, bro fought the first Hokage, got packed to be certain, but
Yeah.
that's some impressive shit. That's to me when I was like, okay, this motherfucker is different. But yeah, no, what we're doing when I said yeah, so I think he obviously got stronger. Well, not obviously. I think he got stronger. I mean, I've made my little rationale clear multiple times. He took damage in that chapter. I don't think the clog rhymes are capable of dealing that kind of damage to him, so I think he took it from unlimited code, which would speak to his durability. These are assumptions, to be fair. Well, conclusions based upon induction, okay? Because I think I have reasonable, like reasoning to arrive at my conclusion. So I think he's basically like his durability is pretty impressive. If that is the case, that he's taking those hits from unlimited code, and then also he's like code specifically mentions Sasuke. I know some people say, well, Sasuke was only able to damage code because of Boruto's help. We don't really have the context. All we have is like the dialogue from the character who just got hit, and he specifically mentions Uchiha Sasuke. So there's that, and then also maybe Sasuke feels confident enough to where he can even code off long enough for Boruto to escape and code with all the clog rhymes. So I think this version of Sasuke is definitely, like, not definitely, but in my opinion, just given what I said, I think he's stronger than Rinnegan Sasuke. There's no drain on his chakra. 1 year training with an O2C, I think there's no, I just don't think it's in his characterization to not progress in a year. That's like, that would seem weird to me. Now, where does he scale? I always say it depends on what you scale code. I have code Ishiki plus. I've explained this many times. But if you have him like over Jigen, I guess you would have to maybe put him beneath, maybe like probably in between Mitsuri or Himawari, or between Himawari or Sarada. But then there's also Ada, who fucks his shit up. So that's why Ada's so weird. But yeah, just my thoughts.
Yeah. With One Eye Sasuke, despite the fact that he hurt code, I don't think that we can scale him to code based off that. I think it's very clearly below code. Because when you're scaling characters to someone else, they have to be relative or even to be scaled together. Like Sasuke and Danzo were close in power. When you get to someone like Gaara versus Fused Momoshiki, Gaara was able to hold him off for like a second, and then Fused Momoshiki just ran through him. If you could throw 100 Gaaras against Fused Momoshiki, give him 100 times the amount of time, and he's doing the same thing. So I think just because a character does something, you got to look at their overall performance more than just one thing that happens. With especially Code's case, I think just like how Jigen was being cocky and arrogant against Sasuke, which led that opportunity to being open in the first place. I think Code was doing the same thing. Again, this is complete speculation, but I think Code only got its eye slashed because he was being dumb against Sasuke, essentially.
My only problem with that, because I'm perfectly fine with like saying Code wasn't going all out. He didn't even have his karma activated. It's just that like he's a cyborg beyond Jigen. It's never specified with karma, without karma. So that's so in a way you can actually like. So if my take is true to where I don't think the clog rhymes 2 years prior to TBV are of level to even damage Sasuke or Boruto, given where like they were skilling towards the end of part 1, and then also what they were doing against like fucking base Chocho and Shikadai, the Grimes. I don't think the Grimes are capable of causing that kind of damage to Sasuke and Boruto. I have to like kind of stand on that first off. So it's not just a slash, which would like, so to your point, because my ADHD is kicking in, I'm branching off on different topics. To your point, the reason why I wouldn't do it that way is because although we're both doing assumptions or whatever, what I do, there are some things I know. So I don't know what his intent was, that being Code, in terms of like how he went about the battle, but I do know he was in a battle, and then he suffered that damage. So I just take what I do know. He's in a battle and he got damaged by that guy because he named him specifically. Then I have to address like the context I don't know, and I probably will never know. But there are things that I do know, so I have to go with that first and foremost, and then maybe start doing some theories or whatever, if necessary. And I just think like he's able to get past the durability of Code, and I think that's impressive. And then also if this is where the assumption kicks back in, if he is not taking those hits, that battle damage is not from the clog rhymes, which I don't think they are. I don't think the scaling works. then the only logical, like the process of elimination would be code. And that's a code who's over Jigen, and it's not specified with or without karma. So he's tanking hits from a Jigen, over Jigen tier combatant, where with his Rinnegan, he's getting just decimated by that dude with Naruto by his side. So if all of that checks out, I think you like Sasuke training with Boruto for a year pre-TBV during the time skip. I have him over One-Eye Rinnegan Sasuke for those reasons, but I'm not sure where I put him on this list. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like, it's sort of better than
completely agree with
Jigen.
all that.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was gonna say I completely agree with all of that. Just one more thing I'll say on that, because I am playing devil's advocate, as I think you know. But one more thing I'll say on that is I think there is a difference between trying, not having a reason to hold back, um, and going all out. Real life example would be I played football. Playing a actual game in varsity is different from going to practice or playing a scrimmage.
Yes.
You can be trying in those instances, but that doesn't mean you're leaving everything on the field in practice. You should, but that doesn't mean you always are. In this case, using a recent example, just a random one, I'm not using this for any particular reason. Hidari versus Sarada. I think Hidari's trying to get Sarada. I don't think Hidari's going all out against Sarada.
How would you define going all out?
In the case of the series, I would say the Will of Fire amp, or a mental amp, quote unquote, as they use it. I would say it's like their max level of trying. So, for example, I'd say Naruto was trying his max to move as fast as he can against the Raikage. Whereas I don't know if Naruto was trying his hardest against, I don't know, the magnet style guy, Edo Tensei from the War Arc. He was still trying to take him out, but he wasn't going all out to do it.
Sorry, can you say that last part one more time? I was kind of replying to Free.
He was trying to take that guy out and doing it as quickly and efficiently as he can. He's in the middle of a war, but I don't think he was going all out to do it. It's similar to stomping on an ant. You can stomp on it with the intent to kill it, and you're trying to kill it. But that doesn't mean you're stomping as hard as you can, risking breaking your ankle or anything. Your brain by itself is holding yourself back, doing the whole like 20% thing. They even have this in the series with the gates. The first gate unlocks 100% of your brain. And so just that fact alone, you could argue maybe with a mental amp or Will of Fire amp, it's similar to the first gate in property, arguably. But what do you think about that?
Do you so can you never go all out unless you have an amp, like an emotional amp? Like, is there a possibility that you can go all out without that amp, or does the amp the amp must accompany the
I think you can do it without getting emotional as long as you're being serious. So I'm looking at like a boxing match. One person can go in there trying with the attempt to win, but unless they're dead serious, focused fully on it, similar to a Baryon mode, to where their heads in the game, their fight is this match. It's not necessarily a personal thing or a bias thing. They would just have to be focused fully on this to be going all out.
So I would say, like, maybe how I would say it is like, because I think like in a literal sense, going all out would be like what Kakashi did in the Pain Invasion arc to save Chocho or Choji, where he like literally brought to bear everything he had. He went all out, like he died. I think going all out is death in like a literal sense. But if you like remove that, right? Because I don't think that's what people are talking about. So if you remove like the literal sense, then what's left? I think is just, hey, I bring to bear what I feel is required to do the thing I say I want to do. For instance, and that doesn't necessarily mean I use a big portion of my chakra. It just means given how I measure the situation, I'm going to bring to bear what I feel is going to get me success. So an example would be Kaguya, right? Now Kaguya had an entire like she could have at any point went to that root dimension and absorbed more chakra. There's like nothing in the series that indicates otherwise. There's just a thing she just chooses not to do for like the bulk of that fight until like the ass end of it. So you can say, well, she had things to bring to bear at the time that she just never did for whatever reason. But even when she had an intent to kill Naruto, even though she didn't bring to bear everything she could, she still brought to bear what she felt was necessary to do the thing she claimed she wanted to do, which was kill Naruto at that time. And that's the all killing Ashbone. Now, I think in between like all of this is like the human element of the writer needing to get from point A to point B and make the story work. That I think a lot of people don't take into consideration. It's like, okay, well, if she still wanted to kill Naruto and she didn't go all out by using everything she had in her bag to do it, but she just did what she felt she needed to, just enough to get done what was done, it wasn't working. So why didn't she bring to bear more power to increase her speed to perception blitz and kill him? Stuff like that. And I think that's an excellent and fair question to ask. And that's that gap I'm talking about, where you have to understand that the writer needs to get us moving down a certain path, and it's just something that you just have to accept when trying to like scale or do like analysis for literature. At least I think, and that element must be taken into consideration as kind of irritating, because it's irritating to me to even mention outside shit, but I can't just like make a like. Cause I think it's a valid fucking question to ask, because I know she had more to bring to bear. So why didn't she? Even if she failed in the attempt, she didn't even attempt. And I know she could have. So I need to like rationalize that. Like I need to make that make sense. And I think that's just where the writer kicks in for me personally. But
Yeah.
yeah.
The thing with the Kaguya example, like you're saying, that's an external thing. I think when you go all out, it's about what you do, not what you do with what you have. Because Kaguya wasn't using that, we would exclude it. And so we're using the Kaguya that doesn't have that and saying whether or not she's going all out without it. Looking at the Baryon mode example, that because that's more of an internal thing. Naruto in Baryon mode has the ability to make a big ball Rasengan. I think he's going all out against Ishiki, but he only uses his normal Rasengan. He doesn't use the big ball Rasengan. Doesn't mean he's not going all out. He's just excluding using that.
I think we're saying the same thing in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, because how I would say that is, um, how you know he's going all out is because you kind of have like rather stated or implied his intent, and then also the within the context of the situation, and then also what he like brings to bear. So I can say, okay, well, he's going all out versus Ishiki when he uses that like Rasengan or whatever. And then somebody would maybe say like, well, if that's the case, well, I know that's not true because we know he has more powerful variant of the Rasengan. So why doesn't he bring that to bear? Um, and then I would say, well, and this feels so like cop out ish. I fucking hate it because I think that would be a valid question. Like, why didn't he bring like a Rasen Shuriken that can attack you on the cellular level? Why didn't he use a bigger Rasengan that could have finished off the opponent? Whatever the case may be. Why is he slow walking towards his opponent when he slams him against that wall after like the water fight when he knows he's on the time? Right? Like these are all like really interesting questions and valid questions that I would like if I'm doing like a pure analysis. I'm asking. I must ask those questions. Actually,
Yeah.
I can't ignore those. But that's when the author gets involved because I have to understand like yeah I'm not just analyzing a fight, I'm analyzing a story, and the fight is just a means to progress that or you know you get what I'm saying. So I think I would, do you get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not.
No, I do.
Okay, yeah.
I
So
think with
yeah,
the go ahead, finish your point.
no, I was just gonna repeat myself in a different way like I typically do, but please
Okay.
continue.
I was gonna say it's almost whereas I can see where that's annoying. In some regards, I think it usually is like a sacrifice for the greater good, quote unquote. I think I think Naruto walking towards Ishiki makes no sense in universe. You can come up with reasons out of universe that are speculation. For example, it could be not a time limit thing, but like an efficiency thing. But like I'm saying, that's out of universe, so I don't think that necessarily would apply to in universe. I can't use that as proof. Um, but I think it's making it a more enjoyable experience for the masses to where it just makes the fight better to have Naruto do things such as that rather than to fight with as like logically as he can. I think it would be out of not only Naruto's character, but the genre in essence for Naruto to be like trying to stab out Ishiki's eyes or something like that. That would effectively be better for the fight, but quote
Yeah, it's like
unquote make the story worse. Yeah.
exactly like why doesn't Ishiki use like his rods
All right, I'm
to
back.
on average target like, vital? What's up, bro? Welcome back. Like, why doesn't Ishiki use his rods to, on average, target like vital organs or like
Yeah.
key parts? Like, why is he stabbing people in places where like they can keep getting back up? And I do think that's again, you just have to take into consideration that you're analyzing not just a fight or like statistics or data, is actual characters in an actual story, and there's going to need to be like progression. And yeah, I think that's like super like really important to like remember. And it's but if you're just trying to do like the statistics or whatever, it's just it kind of gets annoying. Like for instance, if you were to do like a versus battle, character A versus character B, I would say don't even do like a character battle, because if I'm doing a character battle, this character might not even fight this person this way. It's like, hey, Boruto versus Sasuke, who wins? I would say like base TPV, Boruto would beat Sasuke any version at this point. But like, it's like a death battle. Like who would win? I mean, maybe this is because I don't think Sasuke would kill Boruto either. But maybe you can like use a more better example. But I think maybe the gist of what I'm saying comes across to where you would factor in characterization, what a character would actually do if you were doing like a complete analysis. Like the characters aren't ones and zeros; they're not just like statistics or analysis. And I get it, like depending on like what you want to do. Like, hey, well, I just want to figure out who wins this fight. I'm going to ignore their characters and just focus on like their stats or whatever, their abilities. I think that's fine if that's how you want to go about it. But in actuality, if you're doing a character versus battle, you have to take their character into consideration, I would imagine.
I would. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
So where are we putting Sasuke?
Can you
I
give
put
me?
him behind.
Yeah, I think we already did.
Can you guys give me what you have after Shikamaru, so I can just
really quick before we get back to tier list?
Okay.
I had two more things to say on this. Yeah, just really quick, real quick. There's two more aspects of this that I think are very important. So with All Out, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the same performance every time. I think the performance can sway it in either direction to at least a minute level. For example, if I'm running a track doing a 400-meter race and I'm going all out in two different cases, in one case I could get 59 seconds as my time, and the other I might get 58. That could be coming down to the direction the wind is blowing. That could come down to any variable number of factors, but I think just because you're going all out, that doesn't guarantee the same result every time. The second aspect would be it also comes down to condition that you're currently in. If you go all out before warming up, not only are you at risk of injuring yourself, but I think you just in general would be less flexible, less dynamic with your movements. Or if you're extremely tired when you get that emotional amp or whatever, well, you're already tired, you're huffing and puffing, you're going all out, but you're not going to be as strong as if you were doing it from the get-go. So like, for example, if you start going all out in round 9 of a boxing match, that's going to be different than if you're going all out in round 3.
Oh crap, it's a fight on today talking about boxing. Crap, I forgot.
Yeah,
my bad.
I typically agree. I also think maybe just because a character has like a stated or implied goal doesn't mean that they're inherently going all out to achieve it. Even like in the case of Kaguya, just because she wants to kill Naruto doesn't mean she's necessarily going all out to do it.
Right.
I feel like people don't really think about it like that, because I think in that there might be like I don't know if contradiction is the right word, but it feels like counter to the stated goal or implied goal. Well, why wouldn't you go all out to achieve this thing that you claim you want to achieve?
Exactly.
Right.
So it feels weird to say,
Sure.
but it's not necessarily the case that they are doing that. I think, but I have Sasuke behind Mitsari in front of Himawari.
Sasuke in front
While
of
you catch him
Mitsuri.
up in tier list, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. So we have in strongest Shibai first, then Damon. In God level, we have Jura, Bug, Boruto.
Hidari.
Time skip code.
Oh, time skip code.
Hidari. Yeah. Yeah. So in God level, Jura, Bug, Base Boruto, time skip code, Hidari, Mitsari. I have Sasuke, who trained with Boruto for a year, but behind Mitsari, in front of Himawari. But I'm not sure where to put him. So
is that the Sasuke
and
Prime
then
you're talking about, or which one? One-eyed Sasuke. Which one are you talking about?
it's the one that says one-eyed Sasuke.
One-eyed Sasuke. I heard your argument.
So,
you said because
yeah, so-
he doesn't have the Rinnegan. It's not sucking away his chakra and stuff like that. I was listening then. Is that
and the
when
Cloud
y'all talking
damage.
about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You have him after Mitsuri or before? Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like I would have to have him after Mitsuri,
Okay.
but before Himawari,
Before
just because
Himawari.
she's kind of new. But I feel like Himawari has like a lot of power.
I do too.
But I don't feel comfortable saying she's gonna be like,
Just
because if I think this is Sasuke stronger, then So just for now, I think I'll put him in front. I sold on this position at all though. I'll put him in front of Himawari, who's followed by Sarada, and then also Ada, who I'm not I'm not sure about, because she has hack based abilities to just like fuck your power. Because like for instance, I don't think Sasuke stands a chance against her. Even if he's like relative to her in power or beyond her, if the scaling checks out, he'll still lose because she has a hack based ability. So how can he be over her? But at the same time, Sarada's not immune to. She is immune to her hack based ability, and I think, given her feats against Hidari, who scaled so high, she should be able to beat Ada, but not be stronger than Sasuke. Like, it's fucking.
No,
weird.
I get what you're
like,
saying. I get what you're going. How you're contextualizing it. So it's understandable.
Yeah. Demigod is Kawaki time skip, and then Shikamaru Hokage.
Demigod is who? I'm sorry. You said Demigod was who?
Kawaki time skip, and then
Okay,
Shikamaru Hokage. Although if you want to have him in high tier, that's fine. But
that still haven't gotten past Shikamaru yet.
No, we went to Sasuke and Code, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
After
I put Sasuke
Shikamaru,
on there. I didn't have
Sasuke,
Sasuke
Code,
on
and
there.
Ada. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have Ada at all either, or Code.
Yeah.
Oh no, I had Code. I had Code on the list, but I just had to move them though. All right. So who's next?
So far. I'll go with Konohamaru.
All right, go ahead. Let it rip, Mello.
So given his speed feats versus Hidari, to where Hidari is using the Chidori to strike him,
right?
And a prerequisite for Chidori is that you must reach a certain speed with it, whether you run up or your striking speed, for it to even be qualified as a Chidori. So because the speed, along with the amount of chakra, produces a sound that is responsible for like the chirping of birds.
The chirping of birds.
And Sarada identifies it as Chidori, so
Yeah.
it is Chidori, which means he successfully got it off, which means he had to meet the speed prerequisite.
He just can't run with
that's
it.
how you get the.
As of yet, he can't use it to his full capabilities.
No Sharingan so far, yeah, but he can definitely do the striking variant of it.
Yeah.
So So the fact that he was able to like get behind Konohamaru, but Konohamaru was able to keep up with his track his movement, and this is given based upon the panels itself, where he actually turns around and looks at the motherfucker before he actually turns his body, looks at him, and then also he physically turns his entire body. Remember, like Hidari strikes outwards, and then Konohamaru is so fast he's able to get his entire body to turn around completely, and then also get a jutsu off, and then also be able to read the situation to understand what jutsu to get off. And then also he's able to infuse nature release into his Rasengan, something that Kakashi, the 6th Hokage, and Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, couldn't do, confirming that he is a generational talent. Per the dialogue between Kakashi and Yamato when they're training Naruto to master Rasen Shuriken. So yeah, I think given all that context,
all the D sucking at
probably...
Konohamaru, where you putting them?
I just call it facts. I'm putting him.
You call it facts. I call it D sucking.
I'm putting like this is like God tier level shit, bro. Like I'm putting him, and of course it depends on where you scale Hidari. I'm putting him like below Sarada, above Ada, even though I think Ada packs him, bro. I might even put because I feel like Ada probably is just higher than Jigen,
So you putting him above Kawaki?
but
He's stronger than Kawaki then?
in feats, yeah, in feats, Kawaki hasn't demonstrated any like impressive feats versus this tier of combatant. Given the context, like he snuck attack Hirari, and fought Hirari in base, but Hirari's like in mid attack with an ability that like you must match a speed requirement to even like have it be considered Chidori, and sort of confirms it is as such. So this means like this dude's amplified in terms of his speed, and he's still able to like scale beyond that speed, and then also have the cognitive like ability to like know what the attack is, get a proper jutsu up, mold all his chakra, infuse nature release, all that shit in a new Rasengan, and survive that. That's fucking ridiculous. So, but I also think he would lose Ada's hack-based abilities. Like Ada's fucking weird, bro. Like I don't like Ada.
But I don't know,
scaling.
bro. I can't. I mean, I respect the Konohamaru, bro. I don't have no contentions against Konohamaru, but I just can't put him. No matter how much we clown Kawaki and stuff, I understand you say like the feats is what we're going off of, but I don't think that Konohamaru is stronger than Kawaki.
Prove it.
Huh?
Well, wait. Provide reasoning for your, because I gotta stop getting used
right.
to,
I can't really prove it because like you said, we really haven't had no feats from Kawaki, so it's not something I can really prove. It's just that fact that he's an Osusuki. His dojutsu comes from Ishiki. He's very efficient with it. I would assume with his karma that amplifies his strength and speed. He was able to one-shot a Claw Grime with the blast in his hand. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Who's the strongest person that Kawaki fought at his apex? Like Kawaki at his apex, who's the strongest person he fought?
It would be Jura.
Yeah, I agree.
And Jura packed him
he
up.
like got dominated.
So we couldn't put we couldn't put Kawaki above him, like the likes of Himawari for sure. But
yeah, of course not. But the thing is, you can't even really use that fight to measure Kawaki because he lost so badly.
Easily. Yeah.
So then I asked you, like, what's the next one?
He hasn't had any. It was just to be the Claw Grimes because he hasn't really had any.
Hidari.
He fought like Hidari. I don't remember him fighting Hidari.
He
was in base. Like he was it was like a sneak attack. There's like context there that removes
there's more than one. So the first move's a sneak attack. When he kicks him after the rods, I could not say that's a sneak attack. You could say he's still in reaction from the rods because I think he's jumping in midair and that's when he's kicked. But I wouldn't consider it a sneak attack regardless.
Maybe that's the burden kind of shifts to Hidari to be more aware of his surroundings. Because the first one's definitely a sneak attack, but there's no indication that he knows like there's another attack coming, but he still reacts to it.
I have to look at this panel. This was on the last chapter.
It was
the chapter beforehand. 9. Okay, chapter 9.
Yeah, maybe.
Might have been chapter 8, but probably chapter 9.
It was against Hidari though.
I think I was doing semantics.
I think it's 8.
Perhaps. Remember him fighting Hidari. All right, let me see. Oh no, Viz.
Yeah, like he gets a kick off and then Hidari blocks it and then like regroups. That's all that happened. But that's why I brought up like the speed increase with Chidori. Because like in one case you have like I would consider a heightened Hidari versus like one that was just like off guard and then still was able to just block a kick and then just get up and there's no problem.
What do you mean by it has to be a speed threshold to be considered Chidori?
Yeah, so if you go to like the description of the technique, from Sasuke to Sarada, which I think would be like the most recent one, which is why I would use that one. It has to reach a certain like level of speed, and then also a certain level of like chakra focus. I'll bring up the screenshots here. For it to even make that sound of Chidori. So maybe if you want to like, well, I'm not gonna give you an argument.
He got a kickoff on Hidari.
What do you mean kick off? Like he got a kick in and
Yeah,
he
he got a
blocked
kick
it.
in. He hit him with the rods. That was a sneak attack, and then he kicked him. I don't count that kick as a sneak attack.
That's not a problem for my
Then he
argument.
regrouped.
Because like I'm saying there's two different versions of Hidari. One's amplified and one's not.
He fought against he fought against Hidari and Jura at the same time. That's when Jura punched the shit out of him, and yeah, he went into the. I mean, he had a little decent performance fighting both of them.
Yeah, he didn't. Well, the whole thing with Jura is that we know he's like not going all out per his dialogue with Himawari. So that gets difficult to measure. Like, bro lost to a person who wasn't even trying, and he was going all out. Kawaki was, and then with Hidari, my whole position is like there are two versions of the character that Kawaki fought. Like, there's a version that Kawaki fought, and there's a version that Konohamaru fought, and the context is also different. In one context, you're going up against Hidari, just his base speed. Bro's off guard, dodged the first attack, and then like blocked the kick, and then like regroup, and he's fine. The second context is like bro is using an ability that you have to meet a speed prerequisite to even get it off effectively.
But then Jura put him in one of those trees,
real quick.
and he shrunk himself to dodge a kick.
I know. Real quick. So one character, Konohamaru, is going up against a version of Hidari who's using a technique that has a speed prerequisite to even get it off success. And he's mid-launch. So which closes the gap, the interval of time that Konohamaru even has to do anything about it. He has no Sharingan, and he's still able to move his entire body completely around, and then also get the correct jutsu off to match the offensive strike of his opponent. Like, I understand the memes and stuff, but I don't understand under any circumstance how that's not like a god tier level speed feat. It's fucking insane.
No, I agree with you. I'm not like I said, all jokes aside. I do agree with how Konohamaru performed. It was pretty impressive, but I'm looking at this fight with Kawaki, and Kawaki lasted longer than Konohamaru did versus two opponents, not just one.
He wasn't fighting two opponents at the same time.
He fought Jura and he fought Hidari.
Yes, but he wasn't fighting them at the same time. One, he launched the sneak attack, dude dodged it, and then he launched a kick and he blocked it, and then regrouped and just stood there. And then Jura came out, put him in a tree. Bro went for a kick. But remember, this is all a Jura that's confirmed to not be going all out via the dialogue in chapter 11 with Himawari. So everything Jura's doing here is not really that impressive. And then he still folds him with like two punches, like a one punch and a kick, and then he's out. Yeah, so it's like he engages one. The best thing that you can say that he does here is get like a kick in, but it gets blocked, and then the dude just like flips and regroups. That's it. And that's him in midair. There's no like Hidari time of recording hasn't been confirmed to be able to fly. That's him in midair. Like, what is he supposed to do in midair? And then also, like, he did what he was supposed to do. He blocked the kick in midair. Now, maybe you can say, well, he shouldn't have, like, jumped up. Because I think, actually, that's funny. Because Himawari did the same mistake earlier on when she's training with Gojo. He should have dodged left or right. But, like, he's still, like, a little newbie.
And then, like, Konohamaru tried to get Hidari off guard. Hidari was able to go through the claw marks and dodge the attack. And, like, hit him with a counter attack. And he put that Rasengan barricade up, but the Rasengan barricade was able to get broken through. So it wasn't strong enough to last Hidari's attack.
That's not my argument, though. So when Konohamaru launches his Rasengan, he does get like Hidari is faster, right? Because he didn't hit it. But then also that's a Hidari that's not the version of himself that is using Chidori, which requires a prerequisite of a certain level of speed to even get it off successfully. So what I'm saying is, like,
do you need the speed when you're doing the stationary though?
Yes, in order for it
required?
to be Chidori. I'll link the things for you.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Because I thought the running and that part was part of the Chidori. That's why I say he's not able to use it to his full capabilities.
No, it's definitely a part of it, and we know specifically with the issues because he tells like, hey, I need Sharingan to master it, and Sharingan, like, so then you ask, like, what does Sharingan mitigate specifically?
It's a
and then it's like, okay, what? Yeah. So like, but we also know you can use the Chidori in a different way, which is like the striking variant of it. But that variant is never said to exclude the speed prerequisite to even consider it to be Chidori to begin with. So then you just use like common sense and say, okay, well, if it doesn't exclude it, then it must include it because it is Chidori, right? So I'm going to give you these screenshots here.
Okay.
This is from the
Where
Boruto.
are you posting them?
Oh, sorry, I
sent
sent
it
it
to me personally. Yeah, I'll put it up.
I'll read them though. And your body's ability to sorry, which one do I want to start with? Oh, sorry. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. Mastery of the Chidori relies heavily on the speed of your strike and your body's ability to produce an immense amount of chakra. The combination of focusing your chakra at a single point, and I think there's a few more screenshots I need to get.
Mastery of the Chidori relies on speed of your strike.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I didn't give you everything I needed to give you. There's like 4 more panels. The screenshots.
Would this be about the mastery or the technique itself?
So I'll address that in a second. So I get what you're saying. So then he says, mastery of the Chidori relies heavily on the speed of the strike. Sorry, my shit's out of order. I think this is it. And the swiftness of your strike creates a unique sound that resembles the sounds of 1,000 birds. That type of shit. This technique is called yeah. So the mastery thing is a good point to bring up because this is the reason why I brought up Sarada confirming that what Hirari did was Chidori, just like mine and Dad's. And we know that they're masters of the technique. So it's not that she just confirms, oh, that looked like Chidori. No, she's saying it is Chidori and it's just like mine and Dad's. So we know he successfully is using Chidori like a master would. He just can't use the variant in which he needs the Sharingan to stop his himself from being counterattacked. But even if that is the case though, it still doesn't like negate his actual speed that he's using the Chidori with, which I'm arguing Konohamaru's ability to scale beyond that speed is the impressive part. Okay, regardless if Konohamaru can like counterattack, that's irrelevant.
So you're putting him at God level, but behind Ada.
Ada does. I gotta put him behind Ada because I think he's stronger than Ada, or at very least faster than her. But given the feat against Hirari and where I have him skilled, but her hacked base ability fucks him. Like he's not winning a battle against her. Yeah. So like she's a problem on this list, bro. Like she gotta go. Like that ability is stupid, bro.
So should we have her at the strongest then? Well, no, because Sarda and old girl still can negate her ability. So
she's weird, bro.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. What about Miski Sage Mode?
Okay.
Well, sorry. Wait. Did you have like any with the Konohamaru stuff? I'm like, if you do, I would like to know.
I already said
with the Chidori stuff.
Yeah, I already said stated my case. I mean, I
think Konohamaru is. I think Konohamaru is the strongest Jonin outside of Naruto and Sasuke, who I wouldn't consider that in that same role. So I think Konohamaru would be somewhere between a tier of the rest of the Jonin and Naruto and Sasuke. You could say maybe Konohamaru's on the same tier as Naruto and Sasuke, but at the very bottom of that tier. But at that point, it's arguing whether if he's at the top of the previous tier or bottom of that tier.
Bro, you talking puzzles to me.
Given his feat against Hirari, that speed feat, without you actually refuting my claim there yet, to be fair, that's where you would put him. So that feat doesn't do anything for you in terms of like his scaling.
Bro, you are a master. The fact that you be understanding what he says, because he talks some puzzles to me. I be like, huh?
Well, I wasn't addressing your thing. I was saying it in terms of how I was thinking about it, which was a different argument.
Okay, continue. But, yeah. I'm sorry. Don't let me mess up the conversation.
Saying Naruto next, considering 2 Blue Vortex and where he's scaling there. Well, this is a 2 Blue Vortex list, so that's fair to use 2 Blue Vortex.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. Like, do you like?
Do you agree with it?
disagree with my analysis for scaling him so high.
Because he's scaling him super high, bro.
I think
Because I think what you would have to do is maybe
he's scaling him
number
above
one, you
Konohamaru
would have to for Hirari.
yeah.
Hold on, real quick. So you would have to focus on the scaling for Hirari, but then also like maybe I would imagine you would probably try to contradict my assessment of Chidori needing a certain speed prerequisite. It's probably the direction I would go to debunk my claim, but what would you do?
that's the more interesting. I think those are two different arguments that link together, but I'm not really interested in the link of the Konohamaru argument. I'm really interested in the Chidori thing. But for the Konohamaru thing, I would just say what we've been saying, that I don't think Hidari was going all out, even if he was trying to kill Konohamaru. And then I would say it is very impressive, regardless if Hidari's trying or to go all out or not, because I think he is still trying, regardless of the amount of effort he's putting in. So I do think it is impressive for Konohamaru, and I do think that does scale him above the rest of the Jonin in that elite tier, whether or not that's in the same tier as Hidari or around those characters, that's arguable, because I don't think Gaara was in the same tier as Momoshiki, despite the fact that he's able to react and stop him.
What if I...
What's that bum's name that was on the battlefield? He definitely scales above him. The sensory ninja that was just so happened to be in Two Blue Vortex for no reason. He was going off on them last fight. Yeah, Nishi. Where's the Nishi scale? We don't even have him on here, bro. Why didn't you put him on here?
Wait, Nishi didn't do anything.
Before I lose my train of thought.
Okay, go ahead.
So, fuck, wait, what was I gonna say? Fuck.
We talking about Konohamaru.
What if I told you? What if I'm not saying I believe this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what if I said I think this? Number one, I think the speed feat, because like basically how you're refuting my take with the speed thing is basically like you're assuming his intent versus like what I'm telling you the description of Chidori and what he actually did. So I think I would, yeah. Like you have in one case I'm telling you what is, and you're telling me what could be.
Speed, whatever. So, okay. What is the minimum amount of speed that Chidori has to move in order to make the noise?
That's not stated.
Irrelevant to me.
Yeah, that's very irrelevant.
Because I can't even answer the question. You're asking a question I can't answer.
That's fine. You can answer to the best of your ability. So I would say, as far as we're aware, at least the two Tomoe Sasuke from the tuning exams that fought Gaara was able to make that noise. Hidari could have been moving as fast as that.
Sorry,
and still be making the noise. Yeah.
So I don't. So my whole point is that he's something more than he would be normally without using Chidori. So I'm saying Konohamaru is dodging an attack from Hidari plus. What, like, how much that plus is irrelevant to me. It just is. That's my point. So yeah.
I don't think Hidari necessarily has to be moving faster. I think it could be.
I think it's just the cloaking and lightning increases your speed, because even like Hasarda, who you could say one-on-one would be weaker than Boro, was able to speed blitz Boro just because she had the lightning cloaking. What?
Really quick, I don't have it in front of me. Is Hidari completely out of the claw mark when he strikes forward? Is he like running at him, or is he still like jumping out of it? Upwards?
Wait, hold on. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that Sarda would be weaker than Boro at that time? Period of time.
No, what I'm saying is, when it comes to like when I don't want to speak for anybody else. Fuck them. Okay. When I say Chidori makes you faster, I don't mean because of the lightning element. Like I don't think the lightning is enhancing your speed.
It does though. It enhanced the Raikage speed. The lightning cloak.
Chidori.
And no, it's not Chidori.
I'm just vitality.
I'm not talking about the Chidori in a sense. It's like just that technique in particular. I'm just saying like that lightning cloaking yourself in lightning increases your speed, your durability, things of that nature. So when you cloak yourself in lightning, that does increase your speed. When you do the Chidori, don't they cloak themselves in lightning?
No. So the Chidori is a jab. So it like the point is to focus the chakra in one area, not the whole body.
Okay, so how does the speed? Where does the speed increase come from then?
So this is what I mean. Number one, Sarada does have a lightning style jutsu that she cloaks herself in, but it's not to Chidori's. That shit she got from Bunten.
No,
Just to be
okay.
perfectly
I
honest.
just want to. I'm not like
So
objecting what you're saying.
no,
I'm
no,
saying
no.
where does the speed
Wait,
increase
wait.
come from
All right.
with the Chidori
I'm just.
though?
So this is how my brain. I said a thing that wasn't like factually accurate. So I'm just correcting myself with that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what you said.
Okay.
So when it comes to Chidori, if you take a look at like the statements, where guys like, oh, that's why you taught Sasuke's Lee's taijutsu so that he can meet the speed requirements to even use the jutsu effectively. So there's like a certain level of speed you have to like bring to bear to even get the thing off to begin with. So for example,
Effectively.
Sorry, Udi.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah, that's why I keep using the word effectively,
Yeah.
which I kind of maybe understand where like, okay, but I'll let you maybe get there if you want to get there. So bastard, okay. So never mind. I already know what you're gonna fucking say. Because that would be my argument
Me
too,
too.
but fuck it. I'll let
I
you
already
make
know
it.
what
I
he's
want to
gonna
put that
say.
shit in your I want to put that shit in your like mouth. So basically, so if you remove like Chidori, Sarada, just her movement speed matches the Chidori speed. Because she has to be able to move that fast to even get it off.
So you're saying without
Like,
the Chidori, she can move that fast no matter what?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
if she didn't
100%.
have to use the Chidori to speed blitz Boros, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Like he would have still been as shocked by her movements and her speed without her using the Chidori.
Yes, because Chidori doesn't increase your speed, like from the properties of it. You need the amount of speed to even get off to begin with. Like it's all you. That's the whole reason why Sasuke had to learn the high speed taijutsu so that his body could be fast enough to even get like to make the jutsu work like effective. Because like it's a combination. Like just look at the screenshots I gave you. It's a combination of that speed and then also the amount of chakra that you can focus in a single point. If you because when Sarada's training, when
Okay.
Sasuke leaves,
I just
she
googled it.
like she
You're
says like,
absolutely
oh,
correct.
I don't have. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
because on Google, I just Googled does Chidori increase speed? It says no, it's a failed Rasengan, just lightning in the hand. The lightning is not streamed to the rest of the body and thus has no effect on it. The data book for both Raikiri and Chidori, which break down the technique completely, have never noted at increase in speed. Okay. I've been debunked.
yeah. So now you can bring that argument with you. What are you gonna say? Come on, let's have it.
Yeah, I just
Well,
Googled
it
it.
starts
So.
with the fact that Hidari doesn't have Sharingan.
So but how does that debunk the striking speed of the technique? Because Sharingan only mitigates the ability to not be counterattacked by reading your opponent's movements, but the speed is the speed.
Well, that's not. It's not about the counterattack in Chidori's case. Well, it is narratively, but that's a different argument that I'm not going to make here. So when Sarada says it's just like me and my father's, I think the obvious interpretation is she's not referring to the effectiveness of it because Hidari doesn't have the Sharingan to make it as effective. What she's referring to is the technique itself, the fact that he's able to do it, considering no one else in the world should be able to do it, is the interpretation.
That's one interpretation. I wouldn't say the interpretation.
I would, but
No, I think it's an
well,
assessment of
considering
what
the
he just did.
Sharingan thing, considering the Sharingan, it isn't just like her and her dad because he can't do it effectively. So if she's not referring to that, which was what you think she's referring to, the only other thing she could be referring to that we're aware of would be this.
But he is doing it effectively.
He doesn't have Sharingan.
Yeah, but like that doesn't stop his like striking speed. Like the intent
Okay.
is to strike, not to counter. He's trying to strike them. He can't bring to bear, right? But his intent is to strike them because we see him do it, but that doesn't affect his striking speed, which is what I'm arguing for Konohamaru. Not that Konohamaru's like
I would
if Konohamaru
argue
like did it like a dodge and then blitzed and like hit him with something, then I would say, well, he can't even perceive the shit because he has like tunnel vision or whatever. I would maybe say some shit like that, but I'm not even sure. Like I just know what Hidari was intending to do when he did it, and the Sharingan does not stop the speed of the technique. That's the entire reason why you need the Sharingan to begin with. It's
yeah.
supposed to mitigate the
in
tunnel
the
vision.
series. In the series, this is already wrong because of what Minato says to Kakashi. He cannot do it without the Sharingan, therefore it's an incomplete technique. even though his speed, striking speed, all that is the same, because he can't effectively strike the target, the technique is flawed. So striking the target effectively is part of the technique.
That's Minato's assessment of the jutsu, given what Kakashi was intending to do with the jutsu at the time. What Hidari is intending to do with the jutsu at the time in which he's striking at Konohamaru is different than Kakashi's trying to do. You can even see it in how they go about it. Kakashi's getting that running start. He's making a beeline for his opponent, where Hidari's coming out of a claw mark, going up, and then striking outwards with his hand, right? So his intent is to just simply strike it with his sheer striking speed, where Kakashi needs to boost it with his whatever you want to call it, movement speed and combat speed, whatever label you wanted to put onto it. It's just a different variant, different context, different intent. Same outcome, motherfuckers die, but yeah. So Minato's analysis is based upon a whole different dude doing that shit in a whole different way under a whole different context.
So moving on to a different argument instead of staying on that one, let's go with this argument. So okay, so clearly you do. So you think that what Guy says holds consistent for the rest of the series. It's not retconned. It remains true. It applies throughout, even in Boruto up to the current chapters of Two Blue Vortex.
What do you mean specifically what he says? He says multiple things.
What you've been using.
To where he needed to get Sasuke's speed up through Rock Lee's taijutsus for him to even get it off effectively.
Well, not Sasuke in particular, just the fact that you need a minimum speed to use or to make the noise of Chidori.
Yeah, because
you already know where this is going based on that.
This dude, bro. So as far as this is the reason why I'm choosing the anime screenshots, because that's in the Boruto era, which I think is the last time that the Chidori is specifically broken down in that way. So this would be like the furthest into the future as we can go. So I think that's the most relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm putting in chat. This is
sorry, mine is one more instance, but if I need to bring that up, I'll save that bullet in the chamber. But yeah, please continue.
If you look into the Cloud Ninja podcast chat, if you go to the text channel of the chat, hopefully you can all get your way there. I'm assuming you are there.
Text channel. Yeah.
Don't forget to show it on stream in case you aren't. So
yeah.
The top image is just for the control variable. Basically, this is what Chidori looks like when someone's running. You can see Sarada running, and the Japanese katakana they use in the bottom is like the onomatopoeia. You see the zip next to it, the English. So it looks like a 4, kind of. That's the chi. It's the chi noise. Chi.
This fucking dude, bro. You crazy.
The bottom panel,
I already know what you're trying to do.
when Sasuke is confronting Itachi, those same chi Japanese katakana are there, and Sasuke is not moving. So the noise is based on the activation and usage of Chidori rather than the running speed.
So what I would say is that there's a contradiction or a misunderstanding, because I did take this into consideration. Because I was thinking, well, if this is true, when Sasuke activates Chidori in the final fight against Naruto before he infuses like Inferno style or whatever, Amaterasu or whatever, he's not moving, but he activates it and makes that sound effect.
Yeah.
So what I think is there's a distinction between how do I say this? I think that's lightning sound effects, and I think the actual the 1,000 birds chirping thing is like when it actually clashes. As far as because this feels weird to say, given how you just visually hear it in the anime, even when he activates it and moves, I completely understand that. But I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
why I was using the manga. So do you think there's
Udi,
is there a difference between the lightning sound effect and the Chidori sound effect?
Yeah, I think it is.
See the manga.
I think so, because they specify that Chidori makes that sound effect. Somebody's
I think it has to be.
Yeah. They specify that.
Because otherwise Sasuke will be contradicted here.
And a lot of other people will be contradicted as well, because a lot of others said that that's where the Chidori name came from, is from the chirping of the birds, the sound that it creates. And it's supposed to be when I looked it up, it said it was a failed Rasengan. So So it's
Yeah,
supposed
so
to be
it
a
says
version of
even
Rasengan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you, I was know you keep cutting out. I don't know when you're like done or not. Um, so when with Sasuke is like even in like the anime with Sasuke, it says moreover the speed of the jab makes a chip 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 sound. So we know the speed has to play a role. It's like it's mentioned multiple times. Um, so even when Sasuke's explaining it to Sarada, he says and the swiftness of your strike creates a unique sound that resembles the sound of 1,000 birds.
Yeah.
So like they keep linking the speed of the strike to the sounds of 1,000 birds, which is literally what Chidori translates to. So it literally cannot be Chidori unless you get that sound, and you can only get that sound by meeting a speed prerequisite.
Yeah.
That's why I say like the Chidori increases your speed, because in order to even use it, you have to be moving at a certain speed. And then
Well, then that
Sarada
contradicts
confirms that it is
what we
indeed
said. You
Chidori.
said that the Chidori increases your speed, but we just found out that the Chidori does not increase your speed.
No, so I explained this. So what I mean by it increases your speed, you can't even successfully use the jutsu unless you get the sounds of 1,000 birds chirping, because that's literally what it's named after and you can't get that sound unless you meet a certain speed requirement. So you can't even use the technique unless your speed is of level. So in order to even use the jutsu, it comes accompanied with speed. It's not that lightning release increases your speed. You just have to be fast enough to even get it off. If you're
so
not
you can
fast
move
enough,
that
it won't
fast
even
without
work.
the Chidori, basically.
Yeah. Sasuke can move this fast without all that lightning.
Yeah.
That's just his speed. That speed was just like a requirement for him to even use it effectively. Regardless
It's crazy
of like,
though,
what the
because
kanji
when
and all
like
that shit says.
I'm about to say it's crazy though, because like when you watch the Momoshiki and the Naruto Sasuke versus Momoshiki fight, you see Sasuke moving with like a lightning cloak.
Yeah, I think and I haven't confirmed this. This is just like what I've seen, what I've heard over the years. I think he's actively doing something separate from Chidori. I think he's using lightning to increase his speed. This is going off of memory though. I would even go as far as to confirm that's happening. Because for the longest time, I actually did think lightning release was the reason why you were faster.
Yeah, me too.
And then
That's
I actually
what I was
said,
going off of.
and then I asked my, like as soon as recent as last month actually, and I asked myself, one simple question, like, can I prove that? And I couldn't prove it. When I did research, I like looked into the shit. I like reread the manga, rewatched the anime, like looked into like fucking Reddit forums, and like I couldn't prove that was the truth.
I thought that the Raikage was fast like that because he had the lightning cloak. Though I was always under.
Well, he is, but
that's not Chidori.
No, I'm not saying that Chidori. I'm just saying cloaking yourself in lightning. I wasn't even saying Sasuke was using that in the Momoshiki fight to make himself faster. I was just saying like I thought that he cloaked himself in lightning. That's how he was able to match like the speed of Naruto and stuff like that in KCM.
Me right now where I'm at, I would love to confirm that.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I have memories of that being true, but a lot of that shit is just what people have been saying over the course of time, maybe.
And that creates what is it called? The Mandela effect. That's crazy.
I don't think that's the Mandela effect, but potato.
No,
something maybe akin to that.
It's similar.
And even with like the most recent entry of Chidori in like the Naruto database, it simply says like a high-speed thrusting attack that utilizes concentrated chakra. That's exactly what Hirari is doing.
Yeah.
It's not saying like you need to run up or anything like that. It literally just says a high speed. And that makes sense given all the other explanations given about Chidori as well.
Udi, where would you place in Konohamaru? Are you good with him being God level, or would you place him lower than that or higher?
Either way.
What? Okay. Let's go to the next one because honestly I gotta start going to sleep soon.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
did we ever go to Miski? Because it's definitely TBV.
If you guys want to finish and do this later, I'm game with that too.
Yeah, that's cool. We can still just like do one more at least.
Yeah.
Well, who would be interested in? You want to do Miski? There's some other ones on here. We got Delta, Barryamo.
I would put Delta probably just behind Kawaki. He was able to go up against 6. I don't have a reason.
Before Shikamaru.
Yeah, I don't have a reason to believe like she gotten stronger the course of like her old version versus the new one. You can imply you can say it, but I don't know if you prove it. So I'm just gonna say she's as strong as she was prior, and she was able to box with Naruto despite him not being able to go all out, which Jigen confirmed was his like avatar state, or at least he stated it and wasn't refuted. He was still huffing and puffing, highly exhausted given the battle. So I think she's like pretty relative to that like output of him, at least in taijutsu or whatever. Either way, I think she's a god tier. So I'm gonna put her above Shikamaru just for now. And the fact that like Kawaki keeps trying to bring her with him versus Boruto maybe speaks to where she scales in his eyes. And then I would have maybe Mitsuki. Bro, I could honestly just given the like all my analysis just based off what I see. Like I could easily I personally don't think Konohamaru. I don't think Konohamaru is stronger than Kawaki at his apex. That don't make sense narratively to me. But just given the feats, I think that's what I would have him on. I think Mitsuki might be stronger than Kawaki, bro.
Yeah,
in fact, given the feats, I don't know how I put him under Kawaki, given the feats.
I would agree with that. I can't make no arguments against that because I was already saying I put Mitsuki above Kawaki as of right now, at least.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's like oh yeah, sorry.
Oh no,
talking too much.
No, you're good. I don't think he had anything. Go ahead, Mello.
No, I was just gonna say, when it comes to Mitsuki, my reasoning is very loose. I haven't seen too much, but mostly it's his feat against Boruto. He made Boruto use lightning release, purple lightning in his blade, where Boruto didn't even do that against Bug. And I have Bug hella high. Yeah. So he felt the need to use that. Like I think that's a necessity, mostly because I think he stated at a certain point in the fight, I don't have time for this, which to me would imply like he wanted to wrap the fight up as quickly as possible. So the fact that he like after saying that use purple lightning would imply like, okay, I need to do this to meet my goal of finishing this, my implied goal of finishing this as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And then also he was able to actually clash a jutsu with Boruto, the lightning style. And then Boruto just kind of slipped him in the dust, maybe even arrest his chakra signature, but that's like a what if. And then like, win the fight that way. But those two moments, forcing him to use purple lightning in jutsu, in his blade work, and then also clashing jutsu is way more than Kawaki has done in the entire series so far. So,
yep, totally agree.
Just on feats alone, yeah. But I'm not sold. I think story wise, Kawaki should be more powerful than Konohamaru and him.
Yeah, definitely.
Just feat wise, they just haven't done shit with him for me to prove that. I can't like prove it.
Yeah, as of chapter 11, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything you want to add? Cause I'm tired, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I completely agree.
All right, for sure. Well, this was fun. Well, we're gonna
Chocho's god tier, and Urashiki is stronger than Damon.
Okay.
Okay. Right. He can manipulate time.
Anyways, podcast. What time tomorrow?
I don't like him, so he scales low.
No, bro, Inojin tanked that attack, bro. He alive, bro. What are you talking about?
I don't like him. He's annoying, so he scales below.
No, wait, no. On God, like all memes aside, he did outrun Jura, bro. With that little whip while carrying people. Bro literally had to shoot a projectile. Like he couldn't catch up, bro. On God, bro.
Yeah, because he could have flew up there and tried to get him.
Hey, man. Yeah. Although he was holding back per the dialogue.
He actively caught up.
No, he did not, bro. He shot them down. And then he comes down. Bro, and then he tanked that attack. He lived. He didn't instantly die. Bro's elite, bro. I'm telling you. Listen, let's wrap this up.
Tomorrow, what time the podcast? We doing 3 p.m.? 3 p.m. tomorrow?
Bro, listen, we got to pray on the altar of Bara. Okay, we don't know. Whatever.
He said 4 p.m., but I'm gonna hope for 3 p.m. I'm gonna text him. But anyways, we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Thanks, for joining us, bro.
Yeah, walkie-talkie peeps. That does not apply to me.
What?
Anything for tomorrow.
If you want to keep on, if you want to keep on watching, then definitely go over to the Walkie Talkie podcast. I don't know if Mello's still streaming. If Mello's still streaming, hop over on Mello's stream.
You still streaming, Udi? Dang, that boy
Please
elite.
subscribe.
Ood and them will stream every day. I always get a notification for their shit. They stream every day.
But they're the
for
only
several
people in
hours.
this community that I know of that can match my stamina with streaming. It's
That's
fucking insane.
ridiculous. Yeah, facts. Yeah, I'm gonna catch
Y'all
y'all.
still haven't beat my 19 hours though. You haven't beat my 19 hours.
I think they went longer than that.
Wait. Oh my god, it worked! We're 500 subscribers. I think that means we're monetized. I don't know.
Monetized. He said monetized.
That boy from Georgia. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, facts. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Hey, yo, son, let my ninjas cook. Said, let my ninjas cook. Hey, yo, welcome to the show, Cloud Ninja Podcast, ready to go. Broadcasting coast to coast with your hosts, ready to give you a dose. We got Barra B, the guy you come to see when it's late in the fourth and you need a 3. Next up, Free Game Nino, a god in the game like his name is Zeno. Then we got MELLO, they say he is a dream whose analytical mind so divine and supreme. That's the crew you'll listen to, so hear what they have to say. Talking manga and anime, damn near every day. They bringing the heat every week, giving them more of that beat. Check the technique, hey. Hey, yo, son, let my ninjas cook.